I'm gonna see if it has something to do with conflicting platforms. Oh, they're loud in the background. I didn't know they was this loud. Like hearing it on my headphones. This little guy's loud. Alright, so we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Let me check this out. Excuse me. ABC 1 2 3. ABC 1 2 3. Trying to see what it sound like on YouTube. Come on, man. Testing YouTube. How we sound? Testing YouTube. Excuse me. Okay, so YouTube sound good. YouTube sound good. Let me go to Facebook. Testing Facebook. Testing Facebook. Facebook testing, Facebook testing. It's a little lag though. Alright, Facebook sound good. Are we still good on TikTok there? Because I just turned on the other Facebook and YouTube, so I don't know what that was about, man. I don't know what happened yesterday. All right, let me head back over to TikTok real quick. I don't know what that was about. It said the bass sound crazy. I'm sorry, they got the music playing in my ear. What am I doing? Alright. So you said the bass is strong. Maybe because it's on my throat. I don't know. How about now? It's probably vibrating off my throat. That's better. It was like sitting on my throat. Right. Let's try it now. Let's see. All right. Maybe that's better. All right. So, I mean, it sounds like we good, right? There's no extra echo. There's no, how dare you go live while I'm still live? What's up? I'm so sorry. I know I was watching, but I was like, all right, I want to test this audio, man. You still live over there, Stacy? Well, yeah, because you're on YouTube, so you would have at least been on TikTok. I work today. What's up, Pam? How you doing, Sandra? How's everybody doing today? You got 14 people in the chat on TikTok hanging out with me during this little technical difficulty, right? Trying to get this whole thing situated. Now I feel like going live. Yesterday, I ain't gonna lie, man. That was like killing my vibe. Really killing my vibe, man. I think the live would have been a lot better. Could have been a whole lot better if if everything would have came out right. I think I would have been a little bit more on fire. She said, "Yeah, you in the background." Let me see Facebook. If there's anybody here on TikTok, can you jump over to Facebook and go to the Facebook chat and then let me know if we sound good there? There's a little bit of lagging. Don't worry about the lagging. I think the lagging is because I got everything open at the same time. So for example, let me see if I close this. I think we should be okay. The lagging kind of goes out. Yeah, see? So yeah. So there's a little less lagging now. What up? But it was way too much for my brain. I try to listen. Yeah, I mean, last night's live, we kind of tried to, look at this little boy. Hey, get out the camera. They run around in their diapers. And it's crazy because, like, their aunt and grandma, my wife's family, every once in a while they call to talk to the boys. And they're like, man, these boys is never in clothes. They're always in diapers. And it's like, listen, they're home all day. And then two, when I put clothes on them, they take them off. Now, they're always excited to put clothes on because they think we're going somewhere. So, they'll bring me an outfit. Daddy, and clothes? Right? So we'll go to the park or something. Right? Or we'll go outside or we'll walk around the block a couple times. But as soon as we come in, they take everything off. They take everything off. They just be like, my son, we'll come in and like maybe we'll stop at the corner store, right? So maybe I'll get them like I don't know, a little pack of Mike and Nikes. Or, like if I give them a bag of chips or something, they got a little juice. And they rarely eat snacks, right? Because I'm always feeding them fruit and all kinds of, but if I give them a little snack, we come in the house, he grabs his tablet, he got his little snack, he be trying to get comfortable, right? Like he gets in his own little space and he'll take his clothes off. Like he wants to be comfortable. So he'll take his shirt off, he'll take his pants off, he gets right back in his diaper. And he'll just sit there with his snacks and his tablet and just get comfortable. So it's like, what's the point of getting them dressed to be in the house for them to just take their clothes off? This is boys. That's my first time raising boys, like this, because my first three were all girls. So my first three were girls. I had my oldest, then we had twins, and they're like 2 to 3 years apart. And so they're within the same age group. And, and then we had my son. And it wasn't until 11 years later I ended up having these two. So for a long time, he was my only son. Right? But he was by himself. It was him and his 3 sisters. And then me and my wife, we ended up having these 2 little ones. So this is my first time experiencing having 2 young boys, raising 2 young boys, while they're playing and doing all kinds of stuff. I'm experienced with the girls, but it's different with the boys. Girls drive me crazy though. So if I had to pick between my daughters and my sons, My daughters drive me the most crazy. Like, people think, oh, my princesses. No, no, no. No, no, no. Mm-mm. They drive me crazy. I be ready to fight, you know? Like, the boys are actually the ones that are like more, they don't play with daddy. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. And I think that's a boy thing. Because even men, like, even us men, we have a certain level of respect the way we talk to each other. Right? We as men, we have a certain level of respect, the way that we approach one another, the way that we talk towards each other. Because, you know, we understand how things can take, how the type of levels that things can get to. So we're always cautious ahead of time. At least most men, respectful men, etc. So we have a certain way that we approach. You know, females don't do that. And no offense to you ladies, but sometimes you guys know you be quick to tell a man off, get in his face and all that, because, you know, you don't expect any sort of consequence the way men do, right? You don't expect that stuff. And even though things are different nowadays, because you got nowadays men they're quick to jump at you, put their hands on you, and etc. But, you know, as an overall, you know, women. So the girl, my daughters, same thing. It's the female thing, man. It's like they you know, and I'll be having to like, hey, y'all better stop, y'all better chill, watch who you're talking to. For the most part, they're respectful, but they're still the daddy's little girls, right? So they have their little attitudes, right? They'll have their, every once in a while they get their little attitudes, and it's like, ah, man, well, they got me and their mom in them, so. But the boys, like my son, my oldest son, I tell him to do something, he do it, right? I'm not getting no attitude. He's not talking back, right? He's not giving me no problems. He does it. He knows what's up. My daughters, they try to negotiate. They try to, oh, you know, I'll tell one to do something. Well, what about this one? She didn't do it. I did it the other day. Can't she do it? Like, just do it. Why are you talking? Why are we having this conversation? Just go do it. I tell my son, hey, can you go do this and the third? He might have like a little small, like a, but then he'll go do it. The girls, I ain't got nothing else to say about it, because TikTok gonna end up throwing me off today. If I really truly want to express how I feel regarding my baby girls and how I be ready to fight them, man, y'all have no idea. It's not until you really have daughters that you learn how to restrain yourself, that you learn how to, like, because that's the test right there, boy. Especially when you got a group of good daughters. Like I have a group of daughters, and they're all in the same age, right? 15, 15, 17. Man, and then they think they know everything. What's up with that, ladies? Were y'all like this when y'all were young? Honestly. They think they know everything. I'm like, every time they think they know everything, I'm like, okay, then know the lottery. Like, know that. You know everything. Can you know the lottery? What's up with that? Let's get rich. You know? You know everything. Everything. They know everything. They know how it is. They know what's up with the future. They know how it is outside of home. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, y'all got a rude awakening. You just think it's going to be that easy, that it's just going to be like this, and this. It's not like that. I don't know what imaginary scenarios thingy you know. They stop when they have their own girls. Maybe. I tell them that all the time. Wait till you have your kids. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. Damn, my dad was right. I can't. Yeah, and I can't wait either to sit there and laugh at y'all. Cause I'm gonna be real Joe with it. Ah, ah. Like you'll see. But I'm the type of parent that whenever my children do have kids, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be the grandpa that the grandkids is always with. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm that type of parent that my grandkids more than likely will always be at my house. And I would prefer it that way, to be honest. And that's going to be a thing that's a whole other experience. Like, we never stop experiencing all these things because I haven't had grandchildren yet, but the time is going to come, right? Realistically. And then you got to understand that there's other grandparents, other families, and then you got to do your best to make sure that you raise your children well enough that they instill those same morals and habits into the grandchildren, or even that they find a partner with similar morals and habits that they can instill and raise your grandchildren properly. And if not, then you want to instill that also in your grandchildren. But then you got to realize there's a whole other family with a whole different ideology, whole different beliefs, a whole different whatever. So there's a lot of that plays into. So I always try to make sure that even with my daughters, I keep everything 100 with my kids, and I tell them like straight up, like, you know, if when you guys are ready and you find you a man, make sure this, make sure that, make sure his pants ain't hanging off his, you know, his buttocks. Make sure he got a belt on. All right, make sure his pants is up. You know, and every time once in a while I might see my son slip up because I'm like, boy, you better we don't do that around here. We don't walk around like that. You know. So you know, I try to let them know, like, I don't know if some of y'all know, but I also make music, right? So every once in a while, and I don't pursue music. I don't even post it really on social media. I just make music as an outlet. It's like a therapy. It's like therapy for me. So it's like a little thing I do on the side. But my music is based on my experiences. So everything I say is true. Like I'm like, I don't make random songs. Like, my music is actually saying something. Right? There's a story behind every song I have. Anyway, I made this one song or whatever, and at the end of the song, there's like a little spoken word at the end. So in the song, I kind of do a little rap, I do a little singing, and then at the end there's a spoken word, and so it's like a little poetic spoken word, and it was just basically expressing, you know, it was just expressing about the lady that the song is about, and so it was like a little spoken word, and I was telling my daughter, I was like, "You hear that? Do you hear that?" And I was, this was actually today. I was telling her because I had it playing in the car, and I was like, "Yo, whatever dude you like, if he ain't coming like this, forget him." And she just looking at me, making that little side. I'm like, I'm so serious. If he don't come like this, if he don't come at you like this, let that dude go. You know, so I be at least trying to let them know, like, what their standards should be. The bar is very set high. You know, make sure, I don't care how cute, how funny, how tall, handsome, I don't care about none of that. First thing you need to make sure is that man love God. That's number one, period. So that always number one. Because if he love God, then he gonna love you properly. So if he love God, he gonna love you. Period. Right? So that's gotta be number one. All the other stuff, fine. And that's that. And whoever they may be, whenever I meet these dudes, you know, I only got 3 requests. Number 1, never put your hands on my daughter. Number 2, no matter how much y'all may argue, never leave her anywhere by herself. Period. Don't ever leave her by herself. You know, I ended up in that situation. I ended up in a situation like that. And the consequences behind that was me ended up grieving for the past 2 years. In that very same situation. So never put your hands on her and never leave her by herself. Right? And obviously, don't cheat on my daughter and vice versa. And then I teach my daughters the same thing. Respect your man, etc., etc., all these things, because as a man, I know what I dislike from a woman. So I at least try to explain to them it's not okay when a woman does this or does this, etc. So you need to be respectful. You need to, I try to explain these things. So at least they know. So ladies, you got teenage boys. If for some reason, somehow they ever meet my daughters, they're gonna have some really awesome wives. So when that day it's coming, right? I mean, my daughter's, she's about to be 18 this month. She turns 18 and she's heading to college this month. I'll be dropping her off later on this month, right? She's going to be living on campus. So, the times is coming. Times are coming. My baby girl's getting older. And Revelation 17:18 talk about the U.S. Glenn, no. The U.S. that's not the U.S. 17 and 18. You're talking about the harlot. No, the harlot is, I got you live on all 3 platforms. Angela, I appreciate you. Or is that Angel? I don't know, is it Angela or Angel Humphrey? I think that's Angela. Right, so yeah, it's not I don't believe that it's about the US, because when you really because this is the thing. You can't go to Revelation 17 and Revelation 18 independently. Right? You can't go there. You see, that's the mistake. When we go to these chapters as an independent prophecy, then we make the mistake trying to understand the prophecy from that independent perspective. So because we go straight to there, we're trying to figure out, well, what is this saying from here? And then we start importing all these different ideas. Little boy. Then we start importing all these different ideas, trying to understand, well, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean, right? So we import all these different ideas, etc., etc. Right? The best way to understand prophecies, especially end time prophecies, is to retrofit the other prophecies with said prophecy and allow the prophets to interpret this for us rather than us trying to interpret it. Let's allow them to interpret it. So, for example, when you look at Revelation chapter 16, the Bible tells us in Revelation chapter 16 that the harlot is split into 3, that she was divided into 3. Now, when people go straight to Revelation 17, they say, oh, look, that's the Vatican, that's Rome, or whatever. Okay, then what is Revelation 16 talking about when it says that the harlot is divided into 3 parts? She's made into 3 parts, and that she also is comprised of many cities and many nations. They all make up the harlot, right? So then you go back into the Old Testament and you find that the harlot is ever only mentioned, well, not mentioned. You find that the harlot is ever associated with 3 different regions. There's only 3 different regions in the entirety of the Bible in whom the Bible refers to as a harlot. One is Arabia, okay, Arabia. 2 is Jerusalem. And number 3 is Europe, which we would refer to also as Rome, Tarshish. So, and what's so ironic about this is that those 3, Arabia, Jerusalem, and Rome, what do they represent? You have in Arabia, you have Islam, right? Islam rules over the kings of the earth with oil, okay? Because I won't say Islam, I'll say Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia, we all know, we see what's going on. If you look throughout history, you see all of the world leaders symbolically in bed with Saudi Arabia over the oil. No one's ever at war with them. They get away with all kinds of stuff, and we're always in a good relationship with Arabia. Always, always. Yet this is where Islam originates from. All the other countries they're at war with, except for Arabia, rules over the kings of the earth, and also has the blood of the saints, because Islam persecutes the Christian. We know this. We see this happening in other parts of the world, and many different countries, many different nations, and not just today, but since the rise of the Ottoman Empire, etc. So they have the blood of the saints, and they rule over the kings of the earth. Well, that's one of the attributes. So does Jerusalem, the mother. So does Jerusalem has the blood of the saints and also rules over the kings of the earth. We see what's happening there. Okay, they get away with everything. They have the blood of the saints on their hands, and so does Rome. Right, all the world leaders, Catholicism, the Vatican, the Pope, etc., also has the blood of the saints on their hands, etc., throughout history. So these three have the same attributes, and the Bible literally mentions all three as a harlot. And the Bible also says that the harlot, the great city, was divided into three parts. And the Bible tells us these three parts. So do I believe Revelation 17:18 is America? No. When we go straight to Revelation 17 and 18 and we try to understand what it's saying, then people make the mistake and say, oh, no, well, that's America, and that's New York City, the great city, New York City. That's the problem. When people say it's New York City, oh my gosh, put them in front of me. Let's have a discussion. You say that Babylon is New York City, the harlot. Okay, so what do we do with Revelation 16, where it says the great city is many cities, plural? So how can the great city, hey, give it back, give it back. How can the great city, what up, Stacy? How can it be, yo. Come here, get up. Now they fighting over a ring pop. My son has a problem that when he finishes whatever they'll have something at the same time. They'll both have a juice, right, or a ring pop or something. He finishes his and then always tries to take it from his brother. That one's not. Is that one yours? No. Give it back to him. Give him his ring pop. About to fight these kids. Yeah, I know, they're just kids. But he always trying to take it from his little brother, man. He'll finish up his, and he'll eat his, and then crazy. No problem, Glenn. So can you stop? Hey, can you stop? Relax. Where's yours? Go find yours. What happened to yours? Did you eat it? It's all gone. You ate it already. Hope everybody in the chat is doing good. Appreciate you, Stacy. Man, they drive me. Yeah. So yeah. Many cities, many nations make up the harlot. I would love to have a discussion with somebody on that, but when somebody said, "Oh, it's New York," okay, I'm gonna take you straight to this verse. I'm gonna take you straight to that verse. Hold on, give me a second here. That's probably what it was yesterday. I wonder if that's what it was. I think I found out what the problem was yesterday. It's because I had, oh my gosh. It can't be that simple. Hold on, because this little boy. See, if I wasn't live right now, we're going to hush that up. We're going to hush that up. It usually is that simple. Yeah. Hold on real quick. Can y'all hear me? I'm. Let me see if this was the problem. Hold on. How does it sound now? Does it sound echoey and double voice and all that? I think this was the problem. Let me see. No, it sounds good still? Okay. All right, maybe that wasn't the problem then. I was about to say, that's crazy if that was the issue. All right, so we good there. I guess that's it. I guess that is it. So does anybody in the chat, y'all got any questions? Anything y'all want me to touch on? Yo, is there anywhere we could find your music? My music? I use a platform called BandLab. So some of it is public there, but I don't push it. It's only public because after you create it, you could keep it private, make it public. Like my music's not it's not vulgar or anything. Like I don't really get into like any type of, I don't get into anything sexual, vulgar, or anything like that. I just speak. I just make music based on my experiences, my relationships, my, you know, just things that I've gone through. And like I said, it's just an outlet. Um, yeah, right, Stacey. Yeah, it's just an outlet. Now my older music is different. Like music I've done in the past is different. Uh, it's not that it's vulgar. It's just it's more. I would say I speak on a lot of experiences. So I won't say the past because it's not all my songs were like that. But every once in a while, I had a song that maybe, you know, slipped in a couple curses here and there or whatever the case is. Um, but no, I would say the past. Obviously, since my wife passed, I made like, I don't know, like 17 different songs, 18 different songs just on my wife alone. And it was more so me expressing grief. So it was just like songs about, oh, I miss you and things like that. Um, yeah, it's that's a whole album, right? Uh, and then just random songs. I don't know. They're just me speaking. Did you do a teaching on the harlot? I did kind of. Well, I always speak on it. I won't say I don't have a deep dive teaching based on the harlot, but most of my teachings I have the harlot in there. Now, this is my older view in those videos, so I don't expand on what I believe it is today. But that's a good question. I'm gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do a deep dive. We'll have to do a whole deep dive on that and just kind of get into it. Hold on real quick, cause this little boy about to get it. All right, we are back. Daddy had to get in discipline mode because he over there wilding out. He over there crying. Like, we're not doing that. I don't allow that. So the fact that I'm on live and I got to kind of ignore it because I'm live is driving me crazy. Because when he think he about to start raging out with some crying, we're not doing that. Hush that up. I'm an old school papao dad. You understand? I'm a chancleta dad. I was raised by my grandmother. Okay? So I was raised by a non-English speaking Puerto Rican grandmother. All right? So, just you hear it's quiet now, right? Let me go back into the let me go back into the chat. That's why I had to make sure y'all couldn't hear me because I'm like, all right, I don't want the chat hearing no papaos. Right? He muted to take care of the kiddos. Yeah, I did. He thinking now my other one, he know. So when I tell him, he get quiet real quick. It's my middle son. It's that one right there. That one he get a little, you know what I'm saying? He a little extra spoiled. Cause he's the first between me and my wife, right? So he's our first son, and then he has. So before we had our youngest son, it was just him, right? But he has 4 older siblings. So he came into the world super spoiled. He has 5 actually, because my stepdaughter. So he has 4 sisters and 2 brothers, right? But prior to his younger brother, he had 1 brother, right? So he was spoiled, just super spoiled, right? Everybody, he's the youngest. Everybody loving on him, playing with him. He's spoiled. And then the little one came, and you know, so he think he can get away with stuff. Nah. We don't play that over here. And it's crazy because like me and my like when we took them out to the museum a couple weeks ago, my brother-in-law was there, and we see all these other kids, right? So there was this couple with their daughter, and they obviously they were leaving, right? Because you can overhear them saying, "Come on, we going home," whatever. The little girl was raging out, throwing a tantrum. I'm looking at my brother-in-law like, man, I wish you would. I wish you would try something like that. Like we don't do that over here. They don't even know what a tantrum is. And when they think they about to throw one, I stopped that real quick, right in his tracks. Not in these streets, not at all. I wish y'all would do something like that out in public. You think the public gonna save you? Nothing is gonna save y'all from Papa. Nothing and no one is gonna save you. And you know the Bible talks about these things too, right? It does talk about it. The Bible tells us we need to make sure we give papaya to the kids. You gotta get them a little papaya once in a while. In fact, if you don't give your kids papaya, the Bible says straight up, then you don't love your kids. You know, and I get it. I understand that whole concept. Because y'all don't understand how much a papaya would save one of their lives. Now, you have no idea how much it really saves these. Now, obviously, you don't abuse your kids. That's a whole other topic. But when you need to get them in line, then yeah. And most times I feel bad afterwards, every time. Most times. I think probably all the time. I'm always feeling bad. Like, and then it irks me because like, damn, y'all really had to take me to that level that I had to become that disciplined And that really, that's where I get really irked at, because it's like, come on, man. Like for example, like my daughters, it's mainly my daughters, right? If I'll tell them to do something, and I'm cool dad at this point, but it's like ain't nothing get done. It's like, it's not until I have to get angry, or until I'm like, now I'm cursing or something, that they finally take me serious. It's like, why do I have to get there for you to take me serious? Why couldn't you take me serious when I was at level 1? But now that I'm at level 15, you want to be like, oh, let me go do or whatever, you know? And if you guys know, right? You guys know, man. He over here still making noises. You know, so, and it's crazy because I was taking my daughter to college and all that. We had orientation the other week, or a few days ago, last week. No, matter of fact, earlier this week. Right? What's today? Saturday? Yeah. So this past Tuesday. Takes her to her orientation. I'm going, it's a whole day. I didn't know this was gonna be like this. It was a whole day at the college. Anyway, I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn, I gotta do this 5 more times, man. Well, actually 4, because I had twins, so I would assume they're gonna be attending college at the same time. But I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then my youngest is 2. So by the time he gets old enough to finally graduate, head to college, I'm gonna be older, right? Because I'll be 41 in November, and he's 2. So you figure, I don't know, another 16, 17 years by the time he finally graduate, heading into college. So I'll be looking damn near 60. And that's to say, if I don't even have any more kids. I'm not saying that I'm trying or anything, but you never know, like, right? You know, something could happen. You end up meeting somebody, whatever, then y'all have more kids, and it's like, who knows? As of right now, I'm good. But I'm not like closed off. I'm not like telling myself I would never have more kids. No, if happens, it happens. I'm 40 and a grandma. I don't know, man. I'm glad I ain't trying to be there yet. I got some time. I'm trying to make sure my daughter, I keep trying to explain to them, like, listen, forget all that extra stuff, right? I'm sending her as soon as possible. So she's just turned 18. She's going to college. She's going to graduate on time. So you figure by the time she's 22, by then, she has her own car, a good career. The reason why I'm putting them to college anyway is because they're going to help. My goal is really to more so have like these family businesses. So the things that I'm trying to get done on the back end is really more so for them to have that experience. And if it never works out, if it doesn't work out, then at least they have that experience. So my daughter's going to college for accounting, CPA, all that. See, I didn't just allow my daughter pick and choose what she thinks she's going to want to do. No. See, I run things over here. I run things. I'm raising these little things by myself. Y'all not just about to just be playing around, because kids don't know. And the reason why, I'm going to tell you why. Because in my business, prior to in my sales and marketing business, okay, I have conducted hundreds of interviews, okay? I have looked over so many applications. You have absolutely no idea. I have conducted tons of interviews, looked over many resumes, many applications. Every single resume that I have looked at, okay, let's say 80% of them went to college. And all of their resume, the degrees that they have for college, not one job had anything to do with their degrees. Not one. So this right here, I learned a lot from this. Like running my business, I've learned so much logistically. because I'm like, man, I'll look over 200 applications, 200 resumes, and they all went to college. They all have all kinds of degrees in every field that you could name and think of, but there's not one job in relation or in connection to their degrees. So now they're in debt. They wasted years of their lives. They're like, you're applying for a sales and marketing position, which is great, which is cool, because I'm paying more than what you're going to find at any other. I'm like, we paid good over here. Like even just my team alone, right? 5,000 a week, 7,000 a week, 10,000 a week, crazy. Talking about weekly. I had some making 10 grand, 12 grand a week. We paid real good in comparison to other, because for me, it was never about taking a big commission up front. I like to take the small end of the commission on the back end, because I get mine in volume. So even though I might take a couple dollars per sale, and we're talking about literally $2-3, right? Per sale, sometimes $1, $1.50. And that's okay, because it adds up in volume, because my company, we're doing 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 sales a week. So I'm pushing my company to push 5,000 sales a week, right? So if I'm profiting $2, $3 per sale, and we're doing 5,000 sales, do the math. That's my profit. That's my income, right? So it's okay. So, but if now we're looking one-on-one, if it's like I make $3, you make $32 per sale, I make $3 a sale. Obviously, you're making more money, but as a collective, because I have so many agents, it adds up, right? So, but I've seen so many people with top degrees, and there's not a single job on the resume. It's not like, okay, you had a job and something, life hit you, so now you looking and you came across me. No. I mean, these people got all kinds of degrees, and they're none of their resume, nothing about their resume. I mean, the resume is simple. Amazon, the fast food here, cleaning service over here. Like it's like, bro, you went to school to be a surgical tech. You have a surgical tech degree, and none of your jobs is surgical tech. So I refuse to allow my kids to go through the same thing. If I told my kids to be honest, and when I say this, I'm not here to offend nobody, but depending on what you go to college for, college is a waste of time. I never went to college, and I still made 6 figures every few months, right? I made tons and tons of money. Like, and that's not to brag. I'm just stating, like, I did it without any of these things. I didn't go to school for business. I just hustled my whole life. I just kind of know how to hustle. I don't know. So I made sure, like, if you're going to go to school, you're going to go to school for something. You're not just going to, like, at first she was going to major in business advertising. And I said, no, hell no. And then when we got there and they explained business advertising, I'm like, you're not going to college for this. I can teach you this. You're going to college to learn how to print flyers? We're not doing that. Not at all. I told my daughter, I said, listen, this is the compromise. You want to live on campus? You want to have that college experience? I will allow this, because I didn't want her to live on campus, because it's only 25 minutes away. So I'm like, all right, well, listen, I'll let it slide, but you need to change your major. You need to go for accounting. First off, her high school is a technical school. So she went to high school. Her career in her high school was accounting, but they changed some of the careers. So I ended up changing to business something, but it was mainly for accounting. Like, I had to go to the school for accounting, because my thing is, like, listen, if your business never works out, if what you're trying to do doesn't work out, then you still have the skills and the capabilities and the knowledge to be an accountant, a CPA for other businesses. So you can create a business with helping other businesses, because every single business needs an accountant. Let me tell you, I hated it when I ran my business. I hated doing taxes. I hated doing payroll. I hated I did not like Fridays was supposed to be a happy day. Friday was supposed to be a fun day because we got paid on Friday. This is supposed to be happy day. I dreaded Fridays because I would spend hours doing payroll, and I did all this by myself. I would rather had paid somebody, which I should, mind you, I'm learning all this by myself. I'm learning as I go, right? I hated it. I hated the paperwork, the logistics behind the business. I would rather pay someone to handle all that for me. And they make good money. They make really good money. CPAs make good money. You get forensics accountings and all these different, there's a lot of different stuff you could do with accounting. So if your business doesn't work out, you're still an accountant. You'll make money. You'll have a good career. But my goal is that I'm having each one of my kids go for something that they can specialize in regarding the business, because I want them to, together as a team, run certain businesses. So there's a couple things that I'm in the midst of trying to get together right now, right? So there's a few things that I'm trying to get together, and once one thing happens, then the other thing, I look at it as taking a step at a time, because most times what we do is when we want to accomplish something, we look at the end goal. So because we look so far ahead, we kind of tend to slow ourselves down because we like, man, how am I going to get there? I got to do all these things just to get to this level. My thing is, no, take one step at a time. Literally take one step. I was listening to somebody and they made a good example about this. They was talking about how they were reading over a children's book. It was about a boy and a horse. And the boy and the horse came across a field, like like a bunch of branches. They couldn't get through. They're in the forest and they couldn't get through, a swamp, whatever. So the boy tells the horse, hey, I don't see a way through. And the horse tells the boy, do you see where you can take your next step? And the boy says, yes. So then the horse says, well, then just do that. So for me, I'm like, man, that was awesome. Like, just take the next step. For me, I like to make sure I write everything down, right? All the things that are necessary to get to that goal. And then you check each one off. So instead of just randomly like, man, I got so much to do. No, write it down and do the first thing. Get the LLC. Boom. Go do this. Boom. Get this license. Boom. Do this. Boom. Right? And then you get there. So I have a few things that I'm in the midst of. One of my goals, right, as of right now, one of the goals is to, and I'm hoping that we can get this done within the next year. And I've worked alongside some folks that are in this field as well. They have their own businesses. But I'm trying, one of my goals is to start a home health aid company, right? And you guys know, right? The aides that come to the house and they take care of your loved one, etc., whatever the case, right? Now these are government contracts. That's the field that I like to work in. I like working in the field of government contracts. Okay, I'm not going to share too much, but I'm just stating that's just one of the goals. But these are government contracts. So I like government contracts because they, it's one of the best things to get into, guys. Government contracts is one of the best things you could ever get into. So, for example, government contract, home health aid, right? That's when you work with insurances, you work with Medicaids, etc. You work with Social Security, and they pay you you get a certain contract, and they pay you a certain dollar amount per client, per hour, right? Regarding health aid. Another government contract is a courier business, right? So you can find businesses in need of a courier service. So for example, like a lawyer's, something in government, or maybe a medical facility where like you're transporting, you might be transporting medicine, transporting blood, transporting a kidney. You could be transporting a kidney, right? So you find these contracts via the business, and then you bid on these contracts, and then now you're getting a certain salary per contract, and then you go and hire the people to help run the contract. So for example, if I have a courier business, right, I go bid on these contracts, I get a master contract, let's say for a lawyer or a medical contract, and maybe the contract is, let's say, $6,000 a week contract. So I'm earning $6,000 a week on this contract, right? But the contract they have, for example, maybe between the hours of, let's say, 8 and 4. So between 9 to 5, between the hours of 9 to 5, they have a certain amount of deliveries required within the contract. Now, by myself, I may be able to run those deliveries, but now as the owner of the contract, as a master contractor, I make $6,000 a week, but I don't get to do anything because I'm driving all day, every day, running around doing all these deliveries. So instead of that, what I do is I earn the contract for $6,000 a week. I'll hire two drivers, maybe I paid them $1,500 each. They make $1,500 a week as a driver. That's good money, right? So $1,500. You have a set route. You have specific hours and a set route. Now I'm hiring an independent contractor, right? Two good drivers, clean background, etc. And so between the two of them, that's $3,000 a week that I got to pay them. But my contract's $6,000. So I earn $3,000 and then I pay them their $1,500 a piece. So I don't have to do the driving. All I have to do is manage them. I have to dispatch them. I'm the mediator between the master contractor and those who I employ, stuff like that, right? And then you get another contract for another business and another contract and eventually now you're earning $20,000 a week. You're earning $25,000. So this is what I do. This is the type of stuff that I get into, is government contracts. It's the best thing to get into. I don't know. I've always I don't know. Before, the government contract I was working with was telecommunications. For example, like Verizon, you can get a Verizon contract. You can get, there's many different types of contracts, but I was working with, what is it called? I can't even remember. That's crazy. I knew all this stuff. This was prior to my wife passing, my sales and marketing company. It was, Lifeline and, oh my gosh. I can't think. Anyway, so I had my contract was with one of the companies was it was like 30, I think it was 36, 32, maybe $32. So it was $32. So it was a contract where they would provide devices. So I was getting a bunch of cell phones and tablets. And in my house, I had boxes and boxes of to the ceiling. I had thousands of devices at home. I mean, it got crazy. So I have all these devices, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of devices. And so I was employing agents. And what we did was we was providing a service to individuals that received either government assistance or low income or disability. Either one. Any type of government assistance, disability, whatever the case is, if you received any one of these services, then you were eligible for a free cell phone with service for a year and a free tablet. So we would combine it. You would get a tablet and a cell phone for free. You might have to pay a $10 fee for the service, and it's a one-time $10 fee. It depends on the contract, but 9 times out of 10, it's free. And it lasts for a year. At the end of the year, you just recertify. So that's what that was. And we was handing out really pretty decent cell phones. They're not the best, but they're free, right? These are the Obama phones that people call, right? The Obama phone. But we had good phones, good tablets. So that was my contract, $32. So I was, you know, it depends, depending on the team, depending on the agent. If you're just an agent, low-level agent coming into it, then you were on a tier. So let's say if I'm earning $32, my contract's $32 per phone, right? So if I sign someone up for a phone, I just earned a $32 commission. And mind you, my agents is out there doing 15, 20, 25 sales per day. So we were doing like 3,000 sales per week, 5,000 sales per week. So I would pay some agents, let's say if I'm making 32, I might pay them $22. So as a company, we earn 10. So we earn 10, they earn 22. So for every sale they do, I'm making 10. But then I got to split my 10 with my team because I have an operations manager, I have a human resources manager, whatever, right? Something like that. Now that's individual agents. See, but this is my thing. I did not like hiring individual agents under me. That's not what I wanted to do. So I played it smart. So what I was doing was I was finding managers who already had their own teams, right? So I was finding other companies that these are individuals, they already have their own LLC. Give me 1 second, because he think he about to play with me. We good, we back. Round two. Round two. Fight. Yeah. Talking about this damn on ring pop. Ring pop. My ring pop is missing. It ain't missing. You ate it. Your ring pop is not missing. You ate it. Man. About to fight this little 3-year-old. Anyway, so the way that it worked is I don't even know where I left off at, but so the way what I was doing is I played it smart. So instead of hiring a bunch of agents, right, and then trying to manage all these agents, what I was doing was I was hiring managers, and I was working closely with my contractor. So my contractor, they tried to not let me know that our company was like #1 in sales. And I found out because there's a feature within the system that you can look at all of the geographical sales of the nation, right? So you can see where all the other companies are and their sales, etc. And I didn't know we was #1. My company was #1. Like we was bringing in money. And I didn't know this. I just thought we just one of them. But no, we was #1. So I had to tell them, I had to come to them like, listen, I got other contractors with the same contract that offers more money, but I like working with y'all. So I'm like, look, y'all got to throw me a couple more dollars. I need a couple more dollars, etc., because they pay more. The same contract. It's a different company, but they pay more. But I like where I'm at. I like the team, right? Stuff like that, right? So you got to renegotiate. Listen, we're making a killing. So anyway, they were feeding me leads. So basically when people was applying to their company to get a contract, instead of them handing out a bunch of different contracts, right? they was putting them under me. So now I'm sitting here and I'm hiring a bunch of individuals who already have their own agents. They might have like 7 agents under them, 10 agents, maybe 5, right? So I'll speak with them like, so yeah, these are people that's already in the business, right? They've been doing this for years. So they're like, yo, man, listen, man, I'm trying to get a contract. I need a contract. You know, I got 7 agents already working with me, etc. So what I was doing was I was hiring the managers, right? And then every time we was hiring agents, instead of me having to deal with the agent directly, less work for me, I was putting the agents under the managers. And this is how I was able to retain men. Because mind you, these are independent contractors, right? So you can't really tell independent contractors what to do, what hours to work, stuff, because they're independent contractors. But the way that I was able to retain these contractors and the way that I was able to at least have some sort of organization was that because I'm giving them leads. So like I had people in New York, I had people in Jersey, I had people in Philly, Virginia, Texas, like they were all over. So what I was doing was because I'm hiring the managers, I'm putting agents under them. So ultimately they're making more money because the more agents they have, the more commission they earn. So they're earning more commission because they have more agents, more sales, etc. But now I personally, I don't have to deal with the agent individually, right? I don't have to have the one-on-one. I don't have to manage the agent because I'm putting the agent under the manager. I only have to deal with the manager, and I had about 7 managers. Between the 7, we had like 100 agents. So I only got to deal with the 7 instead of dealing with 107. You understand? So that's the way that I was working it. And now I don't have to do all this extra payroll because that would have drove me crazy. It was already enough trying to put the payroll for the managers. Now I did have some agents under me. These were like my day ones, people that I already been coming up with. So I had agents, but the majority of the company was under all these other guys. So that was the way that I did it. And I was teaching them how to do it. So the way that I did is like I was teaching people how to get an LLC, teaching people how to set up a business account, right? Like I was trying to teach y'all. I wasn't the type to keep anybody where there was. I'm like, listen, if you really do this, if you work alongside me, I will get you to the level that I'm at. Because I got to a point, honestly, it got to the point where I started earning, and it took a long time to get there. It took me a minute. It took me a while to really get to that spot. But I finally made it to the level where I'm earning 20 grand or 40 grand. One of my biggest checks was 6 figures. And that was one check for the week. You understand? Like, so we was earning good money. And now mind you, that's not, oh, the company earned 100 grand, so I got to split. No, I earned that. After I paid everyone, I mean, the check was probably 200 grand, but after commissions was said and done, we earned me personally earned, it started getting up there. It was really getting like that. So it was like, but then everything happened with, Biden was in office at this time. And, there's too many things happening, the wars and migration and all that. So the bill that funded the contract wasn't passed. So the bill that was funding the current contract that we was working with, Congress was delaying this and delaying it and delaying it. So all the companies that had these contracts, one by one, they just started shutting down. One by one. And except for my company was the only one that was self-sustaining itself. They were the ones, they were paying the contract. They was paying the contract out of their own pocket rather than getting the government contract. Because in their mind, they're like, okay, we keep tabs. They're going to reimburse us. That never happened. So eventually they shut down. So I ended the contract. And then about a month or so later, and isn't that funny? Years and years I've been putting in work with this contract, trying to get to that level, finally get to the level where now I'm earning, just imagine. Can you imagine, guys? You making $20,000 a week. That's your money. That's your paycheck. That's what you earned, right? And now you like, man, I don't know what to do. I didn't even spend my 20 from last week, so it's like you get to that level and then 2 months later, it's over. It's like, man, I've been doing this for years. I could only imagine years of that, right? But I'd have been a millionaire by now. Because we ended up earning almost 500 grand in just 4 months. So, but the contract ended. That was the end of that. And then my wife passed about a month or so later. And so I never did nothing else after that. So the contract ended. I took a small break. I said, you know what? I got a couple dollars sitting in the account. I'm good. I was busting my tail for these past few years. I'm going to take a break. So I sat at home. And mind you, I was already at home because I work off my laptop, right? Well, I work off my cell phone. But I'm always busy. I'm always on a call. I'm on a Zoom call. I'm on a Zoom meeting. I'm taking calls all day. I'm running my agents. I'm managing my business from home. But I'm always on the phone with managers, agents, contractors, meetings, etc. So even though I was home, but I'm still busy, right? So I'm always moving. Never stay still. When the contract ended, I'm staying still. No more calls, no more meetings, nothing. And it felt weird because, like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So I ended up buying a PS5. I bought me a PlayStation. And at this time, I haven't played PlayStation in like 10 plus years. Like, wasn't playing no video games. I was too busy for anything else. It's gym business. So I ended up buying a PS5. Now I'm at home playing Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing about women. And I love y'all. But I'm home, right? My wife, every once in a while, my wife, she'll kind of like complain, but she wasn't the type to complain where it's like nagging. She would just like, come on, babe, can you get off the phone? Like, you've been taking calls all day. Come chill. Let's watch a movie, right? It's simple, real simple stuff. Like, she just wants my time. My thing is this: I'm home all day long. I get to hang out with you all day. Yeah, I might be on the phone, but I'm hanging out with you all day. Now you want my individual attention. I understand that. But I could be working 9 to 5 somewhere. I could be at Amazon where I'm working 10 hours a day and you don't see me at all. At least I get to put the phone down for a little bit. We can kick it and then I get back to business. Right? And then when I stopped working, when I no longer had the contract, and now that I'm sitting at home playing video games, now she's like, babe, when you gonna get another contract? You got to do something. You can't just be, you got to make sure you're taking care of us. I'm like, no, you just wanted me not to, you wanted all my attention. You got now it's like, cause she wasn't used to seeing me sitting down, not doing anything. Right? She wasn't, it wasn't a game now because she played with me. So she played, in fact, she's the one who wanted the PlayStation. Right? So, but anyway, I think it's because she wasn't used to seeing me. And me as a man, I never brought problems to my wife. Like, I didn't bring, like, if I was going through something, I didn't bring that to my lady. Right? I always took my stuff to God. Right? And like, for example, there was a time or two where before I became successful in that aspect, I was struggling financially. Right? So I'm maybe struggling here. I'm struggling there. I'm facing eviction. Right? Like, nobody knows this. I'm running a whole business. Mind you, listen to this. I'm running a whole business, right? I'm behind on the rent because it wasn't the business. It wasn't enough to earn yet, because that's how business runs sometimes, right? Where you start a business, but you're not profiting anything yet. It takes time. So I'm now I'm like behind on the rent. So now I got to go to court, a little mediation. Right. So I'll go to this mediation because I can't really afford the rent right now. I'm not earning as much as I could, but I'm running the business. The business is still afloat. And I got agents. I got other people hitting me up. Hey, Will, man, listen, man, I'm behind on rent. Like, if I don't pay this rent, bro, they're going to kick me out. You think I can get it in advance? Now, mind you, I don't know how people view me, but they think that I got money. They think whatever, right? Because I'm the business owner. So they just think what they think. They don't know, like, bro, I'm about to face it. Nobody knows this. Nobody knows. Like, I got to go to court behind the scenes and make sure, like, hey, listen, I got y'all on the rent, whatever. And here I am. What's that? Backdrafting. I'm backdrafting my business account to give this agent an advance, so that he doesn't get kicked out of his home. You know what I'm saying? Like now my account is negative. I have a negative account because I took money that I don't even have to allow this person to not get evicted. And I'm going to court for eviction. It was stuff like that. Nobody knew. I didn't bring these to my wife. Like I didn't burden my wife with problems like, yeah, man, like, yeah, I'm struggling right now. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay the rent. I didn't burden her with stuff like that. Never, not once, never. Because I feel like as a man, we shouldn't. We got to figure this out. We got to do these things. And then, but that bothered her because she like, no, babe, bring it to my attention. Like, let me know and we'll get through it and stuff. But I still didn't want to burden her. Like I try to provide a decent life. So my thing was, I'm not going to burden nobody. So like when it came to stuff like that, or when it came to the money, whatever, it's not that I'm private. It's just that, I don't know. I was moving too fast that it was like, there was no need to burden, to expose to. So my wife really didn't know how much money we had. Like she knew I would say like, oh, we good. We earned this much, but she didn't see it. She didn't know. She had access. She had money. She could do whatever she wanted. Because my wife, she also helped with the business. So there was always money coming into her account, and she didn't have to pay no bills or nothing. So my wife didn't pay anything, because I paid all the bills. I paid all the rent. I paid everything. So any money she did get, she didn't have to buy. She didn't have to pay nothing. So all she did was Amazon, right? Amazon and what was the other one? Shein, like Shein, Amazon. You know what I'm saying? Just buying stuff online all day, every day. So she'll, sometimes she'll help me with some sales, make money, and I just gave her money. Anytime she asked, hey, babe, let me get this, let me get that, whatever. She just got, it is what it is. But so, so she didn't really know, but she knew we had money. She knew we was good. She just didn't know. But when I'm home, I'm home. I'm on my little break. I'm just playing. I'm playing Call of Duty. Right? I'm playing zombies. Call of Duty zombies. Just playing. And I'm just caught up. And I think because I wasn't doing nothing, because I'm just sitting still, playing game. It wasn't that I was playing video games. I think it was because like she just wasn't used to seeing her man stay this still. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always moving. So now that I'm just kind of relaxed and I'm chilling, it was strange. But for real, you know what it was? She really was complaining. Her main complaint was that I wasn't studying. That's what it was. Cause she would see me on the video game, but she'll come to me like, did you read the Bible today? And I'm like, nah. She'd be like, so that's where her little attitude would come in. Cause she'd be like, so you just playing and you ain't read, you didn't study. You ain't did, like, you know what I'm saying? All them books I got you and you ain't study nothing. You ain't, So that's a little bit weird, the little, so I can't really, I can't really talk too much there. But, after the contract ended, about 6 weeks later, she passed and I haven't done nothing since. You know what I mean? So I didn't do nothing since. At that point, I didn't start another contract. I didn't try another business. I just kind of fell back and, God blessed me enough that I had enough money sitting in the account that I can just kind of fall back. I don't know how people do it. If there's anybody here who had a tragic loss, I don't know how y'all go back to work, because I don't know how I would have did it if I didn't have the money. I just don't know what I would have done. I don't see how people can go back to work 3 days later as if you didn't just lose your husband or your wife or your child. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I think everything worked out the way it's supposed to. Because I don't think I would have went to I was still in college. My best friend there. That's what I'm saying. I didn't go back. Damn. That's what I'm saying, Stacey. Like, that's hard. Like, how does one even? Man, I remember. I felt grief when my kid's mom and I broke up back in the day, because we were together 9 years, and when we finally broke up, I also felt grief. I went through that grief, and I remember I was doing like Labor Ready. So I was like, Labor Ready is like a company that if they have any opening jobs, they'll send you there, right? They'll just send you to a job. So you might work a different job every day. Anyway, it's like a temp agency. So I was working at this warehouse, but I'm grieving over the breakup between my kid's mom and I. And I'm just like, I didn't want to be there. I think I just left. I think I left in the middle of the day. I'm like, yeah, I'm out of here, bro. I ain't working. I ain't doing this. I just walked out in the middle of the shift. Like, because I just couldn't, you know? So, yeah, I don't know how people do it, man. I don't think I would have been able to do it. Even the following week, I was in the midst of a new contract, as a matter of fact. The guy that I was working with, he called me that Monday. My wife passed on a Friday. He called me that Monday. He was like, hey, Will, listen, man. So we got the contract. We got everything up and running. I just need you to send me over the deposit information so that when you get paid, we can make sure you get your money. I said, bro, listen, man, my wife just passed 2 days ago. I don't give a damn about this contract right now, man. He was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. So I ended up giving the contract over to my guy, my operations manager. I let him run it. I said, take it. I don't want nothing. Just you go run with it. And he been running with that for the past couple of years. I think it ended just recently, a couple months ago. But he was running with it, and I just said, I'm good. I want nothing to do with it. I was just done. I was just done. And then I wasn't really doing much else after that. No working out. I wasn't really eating healthy. I'm not cooking anymore. Obviously, no business. Not in the gym. Not taking care of myself. Started kind of gaining a little bit of weight, getting sloppy. To other people, I might look normal, but to myself, I know that this ain't normally me. And then recently, earlier this year, I started taking care of better myself. Started getting back into the gym, eating healthy again, cooking again, taking care of myself. Asking anyone in the chat to pray with me, please. He's in the ICU. Doesn't know Jesus. Paul. Who's Paul? Somebody in the chat named Paul? Would y'all go ahead and, whatever Stacy's talking about, let's go ahead and pray for your peoples. What about your children? What do you mean? The kids, I mean, they were, for the most part, they were good. It's different for kids, It's different for kids when they have a loss. Sometimes they don't know how to comprehend it fully. The babies, obviously, they're not gonna know nothing because when she passed, our youngest was 3 months, and the other one was the one that was over here crying all crazy. He was like 18 months. So he was about 18, 20 months. Our youngest was 3 months. And then my other ones are older kids. They're all in their teens. So they're all teenagers. And then my stepdaughter, her daughter, my wife's daughter, she was, I think, 9 at the time. So I haven't seen my stepdaughter since. She was living here with us, obviously, right? I was raising my stepdaughter. She went to school here with my kids, everything. But when she passed, her family came and picked her up. And her father, who was really rarely ever in her life, he spent most of her life in jail. So she really only knew her father by visiting him. Maybe talking to him on the phone, visiting him while he was in jail. And then when I met my wife, her dad had just came home, like that same week or something like that. But he rarely, he was around. He was just like, I'm around. Like, he's just around the neighborhood. And every once in a while, he'll spend time with her. But I'll be honest, when she was living here with me, she probably stayed with her dad like 6 times, maybe like 6 different weekends. Right? He was the weekend dad. He didn't have to be. He could have had his daughter anytime he wanted. But, and mind you, most times when she would go over there, she's not even really hanging with her dad. Because, he'll pick her up or we'll drop her off, technically. We'll meet, at her mom's house, my mother-in-law's house. And he would take his daughter with him for the weekend, but then he'll drop her off at his sister's house or his mom's house and then be gone the rest of the weekend. So she's not really spending the weekend with her dad. She's just with, her grandmom or her auntie or something, right? And then there were times my mother-in-law lives here, and across the driveway, because we'll be in the backyard, across the driveway is the homies, right? Everybody's mutual. Everybody knows everybody. So her dad will be hanging out with the homie across the street. We'll pull up. He'll look right over at us. Don't even speak to his daughter. He'll see his daughter. Don't even speak to her. And then he'll just dip off. He'll just leave. And we pull it up. We probably picking up something from the house. We picking up some mail or something from the house. You know what I mean? So it was like that. Like I was the closest thing she had to her dad, even when her dad was physically around. You know? And when my wife passed, she ended up going with her father. Because legally, there's nothing we could do. And I don't know what's going on now. I haven't really spoken to her. I've seen her like twice. That was it since. So in the past 2 years, I've only seen her twice. I haven't seen her, haven't spoken to her. I don't know what's up with her, how she's been. I don't know anything. And that's crazy because I even reached out to him one time, a couple times. But the last time I reached out to him, I said, hey, listen, bro. I said, technically, you know, if my wife didn't pass, you know that Empress would still be living here. I'd still be raising her, etc. But beyond that, I said, I took care of your baby girl for the past couple years. I made sure she was clothed, she was fed. These are her siblings. I did everything, right? I went to all her school shows, all her little events. I video recorded everything. I went to all her parent-teacher conferences. I did everything. She was my daughter. So I helped take care of baby girl, etc. I said, we should still connect with each other. I'll come pick her up on the weekends, come hang out with her. She can hang out with the siblings, whatever. I reached out to him like a man. You should call her. I don't have a number for her. Her number's not the same, no longer the same. So I reached out like a man, like, hey, bro, we need to still connect as men. Man, you know what his response was? His response was the emoji eyes. You know the eyes? The emoji eyes? That's what his response was. That was it. Emoji eyes. And I sent them this long message about how we need to, collab as men, as fathers, and let the kids still have a relationship and all that other stuff. And that man sent me emoji eyes. That's what his response. I don't even know what that meant. Because I don't know in which fashion you're using the eyes for. So at that point, it's like, all right, man, it's nothing I could do. And then he was kind of doing the same with the family, because even the family, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, we all helped raise Empress, not him. And even now, I think she's now living with her aunt, my sister-in-law. And I've recently tried to reach out and like, yo, is Empress staying with you? Because if she is, let's get together. Because if she's with you now, we ain't got to follow his rules. To hell what he say. And I'm be honest, it got to the point where he didn't want me around. He didn't want me around. He didn't want her around her siblings. He was a jealous, bitter dude. Like he's a cornball. Like he's a whole cornball. A jealous cornball. And he just didn't want her around me or her siblings. So so that was that. And listen, if it was up to me, she can live with me. I'll still take care of her and raise her, and if it was up to me, she'd still be here. So for her, it's the hardest, because she didn't only lose her mother, she lost her family. This was her family. We are her family. You understand? Like, my kids are her siblings. She has literal siblings and she has step siblings, but they're still her siblings. Because before she had actual siblings, she only had my kids, my older kids, which is her step siblings. Right? She never had siblings before. And then me and my wife had the 2 boys. So now she has siblings. And she has friends. She has teachers. She goes to school here. Her clothes is here. Everything. And then my wife passed, and all of a sudden she's gone. Her whole life changes within 24 hours. She lost her mom. She lost all her siblings, her stepdad, her home, her friends, school. Everything's different. Everything. And it's like, bro, you a whole grown man, and you would really let that rock out like that? That's crazy. I would have never. If it was up to me, I'd still be taking care of her. Nothing would have changed, but it is what it is. But that was pretty much it. I mean, my other kids, for the most part, I mean, I think they did pretty well. You know, they had their moments, obviously, at the funeral and everything else between, but for the most part, you know, it was really me, man. I'm the one that was a mess. I've been a mess for the past year and a half, 2 years. I don't want to say a full 2 years because I would say it was really recently. These past couple months, I've been good. I've been okay. I'm no longer stuck in grief. Like, grief is not hanging over me, right? It's not weighing me down. It's not dictating my life. It's not dictating my day. It's not heavier than the things that I'm trying to accomplish. It was, that's why I disappeared for a little bit. A lot of people wonder, yo, where you been? Well, I had to get right. And it was heavy. It was heavy. I didn't want to do anything. And I just got tired of this. I got tired of crying. I got tired of just all of it. I got tired. And so I changed it up. And now I'm at a point where it's no longer heavy. I don't feel it. I'm not sitting around grieving all day. I'm not sitting around sad. All that's gone. I miss her from time to time. I get lonely from time to time. As a man, as a human being, I naturally desire to be in a relationship, or everybody desires to have somebody, to have companionship and, affection and all these different things, right? We all desire to have our own person, somebody we can laugh with, joke with, vibe with, be with, right? So of course I desire some of these things sometimes. I have, but I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I think this is the first time I've ever been this single in my life. This is the first time I've ever been. I've never experienced this. It's the first time, especially this long. Especially. So 2 whole years, man. Just been single, man. You telling me? Yeah, right, Stacey. It's all bad. But it would be nice to meet someone, to have decent, adult, mature conversations, and somebody that like you as much as you like them. Go out to dinner, have fun, vibe, laugh, joke around, play around. Y'all know, laughing so hard that you know what I'm saying? You got tears coming out your eyes. You falling out your chair. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody miss all those good times, chilling, laying up, cuddling, watching a movie, whatever the case is, going out on dates, buying each other little gifts. Yep, I agree, but I'm afraid, if I'm being honest. I feel you, Stacey. And I'm a little part of me also kind of like, I won't say I'm afraid. I'm more so cautious. Like, I'm like, I just don't want to be in a situation where, like, I waste my time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to, like, if it ever happens again, I'm not trying to date 2-3 people before I end up finding the one again. That ain't happening. And I think that's the reason why I'm not out here how I could be. You know what I'm saying? That's just the reason why I'm not out here like I could be. God will lead you to the right one. Yeah. So for me, it's like, if I do meet somebody, she gotta be it. Like, that's gotta be it. Because I'm not going through a bunch of dates, situations. Not doing that. Not wasting my time. First of all, I don't even have the time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that time. Like, I'm in the gym, and then I gotta get everything else in order, right? I got a certain time that I study. I got a certain time that I reading this book. I got a certain time that I work out. I got a certain time where I gotta cook dinner. I got a certain time where I gotta handle my kids. I got a certain time where I'm gonna go live. So anybody I do meet, they coming into my right? They coming into my situation, right? You coming into to what I got going on. So for me, it's like I don't got the time to just be like playing around with anybody at all. Um, at all. But I do know that when the day do come, whoever she may be, she would experience a love that she didn't even know existed, because the type of loss that I've suffered, people like me, we got so much to give. So because of what we lost. So because of what we lost, we got so much to give. So anyone that I do end up with, they're gonna be like, man, how was I ever this blessed? Because the loss that we've suffered, we desire to provide a certain type of love. So anyone I do meet, they're gonna love it. They ain't gonna know, because not only would I love you in the way that you desire to be loved, but then I'll also love you the way that I feel as though the way I know how to love. So you get like a little double type of love, right? Your love plus my love, etc. And I'm the type that I love you enough for the both of us. So like I've always been the type that, you know what I'm saying, like even if I don't receive if I don't receive what I'm offering, as long as you receive it. I don't know, I've always been different. That's why you make sure she gotta be the one. Yeah, that's why I said, like, I mean, I'm just it is what it is. But I mean, and there's been opportunity, right? I'm just I don't know. I guess when you feel it, you feel it. When you know, you know. When you ready, you ready. Going on, Maryland. I mean, so for me, it's like, man, whoever she may be, she gonna love it, because she gonna love it over here, because yeah, she gonna definitely love it over here. And I'm a man that cooks too, so like I cook regularly. I cook every single day. Even in my relationships, I always cooked. My wife didn't have to cook. Every once in a while she would, and my wife's Jamaican, so she would make Jamaican dishes. So when she would cook, it was a little different. Every once in a while she'll cook something regular, but most of her cooking was Jamaican dishes, and which I actually miss. I haven't had it since. And I don't want to go to one of these stores and get it either, right? Because it's not the same. But I always cooked. So I cooked every single day. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed cooking. I don't know, I'm different. It's like my grandma. I think it's got a little bit of my grandma in me. My grandma's she's a cook. And the thing about people like me is we don't just cook to cook. When we cook, we enjoy the person. Like, I don't know, we don't like to watch the person. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and watch you eat, but we like to feed people. So there's a love behind the cooking, which makes the food better. Always. If you know, you know. If you cook with love, the food is good. So I cook like a grandma. You understand? When I cook, it's like cooking like a grandma. I mean, nah, I sometimes watch them take the first bite. I mean, yeah, of course, we watch, right? The first bite, whatever. We watch a little bit, like, it banged on it. Yeah, that's good, huh? Yeah, right? So yeah, no, we like to feed people, man. And it was always like that. Like, every time we would have we would have Thanksgiving at my house, or somebody's birthday party, like one of the kids at my house. Or I would just tell her, like, hey, tell a couple of your friends and your mom and them to come over. I'm gonna cook. Mother's Day I would cook. So like when I would cook, everybody loves it. Like, man, that man could cook. That man can cook. Look at this little boy over there in the corner, chilling. right? So yeah, so that's one of the things is like, and that was one of my wife she'll play around, be like, that's why I fell in love with you, like that's why, like she would post pictures and she'll be like, that's why, and like I'm cooking and she'll caption, that's why, you know, because like as a man, you got a whole man cooking good, bringing you the plate, whatever. And I know some people probably be like, nah, bro, nah, whatever, I ain't doing all that, whatever. But that's just me, man. That's just what I like to do. That's what I like to do. So she ain't have to cook. Just hang out with me. That's all. Hang out with me in the kitchen while I'm cooking. That's it. But yeah, like I said, anybody, you know what I mean, that I do end up, and I'm monogamous. I'm not somebody that run around and be cheating and all that stuff. So you ain't gotta worry about me out here running around cheating, lying, all that extra stuff. For what? What's the point? And I'm too close to God to be even running around cheating. Like I can't. I mean, when I was younger, we've done all kinds of things as we're younger. But that's back in the day. But I ain't on that type time, because I know what it feels like to get cheated on. So like, why would I want to put somebody through that? And for what? I'm trying to forget everybody else. You know what I mean? Forget everybody else. Like, it's me, you against the world. Let's get it. Like, let's go get this money, right? Let's go get money together. Let's go have fun. Now, I used to think a lot of things was corny, right? Because I don't know, as a man, sometimes something like, for example, and I know this is going to sound probably crazy. I don't like holding hands. I don't know why. I'll put my arm on you. You can grab my arm. We can walk side by side. Put my arm around. I don't like holding hands. It make me like, it's like I feel gay. And I don't mean homosexual. I feel gay. Like, the type of gay I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You walk around with your pants all the way up here to your waist type gay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, that's gay, bro. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you hold hands with your wife, that's gay. I don't mean homosexual gay. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's not that type gay. It's if you're from around the way, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's weird. I just didn't like it. But I would do it because she wanted to do it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So little things like that I didn't like. My wife bought us a matching hoodies, right? So it was like my hoodie said king, her hoodie said queen. So she's like, oh, come on, let's wear our hoodies. That's gay. I don't want to wear matching hoodies. I don't want to wear matching pajamas. I feel gay. But I do it for you. That's what you want. I got you. Right? So the the sad part is that I miss that. So now I'm thinking ahead. I'm like, man, if I do meet somebody, bro, we could do that. Let's go wear some matching pajamas. Let's go do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, I should have did all that. Now that it's gone, I wish that I would have like enjoyed it more. I wish I would have been like, all right, come on, let's go do it. I wish I would have been the one that initiated it. Right? So I look back at the things, stuff like that, where it's like, now I'm like, man, I'd give anything to wear, man. Like, we can go to Walmart. Come on, let's go to the mall wearing a full-blown bodysuit. I'm a dog and you're a cow, right? I'll do it. Like, I miss that. Like, I'd give anything to be able to do that. So I look now and I'm like, all right, if I end up in another situation, that's what my lady want to do. Listen, I'm gonna enjoy it. I've learned now to enjoy the most annoying moments, or the little, or that's gay moments, right? I learned how, I'm learning even now how to not get upset with certain things. Like, there's times where I might come downstairs, or I just come in the house and I see a mess, toys everywhere. And my initial reaction is to get angry. Yo, why is all these toys? What are y'all doing? Right? My initial, but then I catch myself and I say, you know what? Enjoy it. Enjoy the mess. enjoy that there's juice on the floor, because God forbid I lose my baby boys. You know, if they ever died or something, I would miss the juice on the floor, right? I would miss the mess. So I've been trying to learn how to not get upset at certain things, love it, enjoy it, get involved, right? It is what it is. It's annoying. It's like, all right, they knocked this over, they broke it. But I would rather experience this than to not have them at all. So I've been learning, still learning. It's all a learning process. Handprints on the window, handprints on my mirror. That's what I don't like that. Because I have a mirror in my bedroom. It's like a wooden, old, classic, antique, wooden looking mirror, and it tilts. It looks like an old classic, belongs in a castle or something mirror. And you see everything. You see their face pressed against the mirror, all these little fingerprints at the bottom. I'm like, bro, that's my little selfie mirror, right? Like if I want to throw a little outfit on, take a little picture of something, right? I got all these fingerprints. I can't do it. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't get my selfie on, you know? But it's cool. It is what it is. Fingerprints in the mirror. Pencil and marker, crown on the wall. Come in, I see crowns on them. I'm like, man, why would y'all write on the wall? But it is what it is. Enjoy it. Love it. You know? Because it could not be there, right? It could be where, like, and that's the thing. It's like, you know what I mean? I look at stuff like that. So, like, I take my wife on our worst day. You know what I mean? If I can go back to the worst day that we ever had, like the worst argument, I'll take that day. So, yeah. So I look back now, it's like, man, listen, if I ever did meet somebody, you know, I'll do all that. Listen, you can do all that. You can do all that, right? You want to wear matching pajamas to Walmart? Let's do it. You want to hold hands? Let's do it. You want to, you know what I'm saying? Because I look back at all this stuff and I'm like, man, I should have enjoyed it more. It's not to say I didn't. It's just that that initial feeling, that initial reaction, like, do we really gotta put on these hoodies? Like, do we really gotta? All right, come on. Now I'd give anything. What color is Jesus Christ? Truth. What you talking about, bro? He the human type. He the human color. This guy. Again, you have a type. Dark skin queens. Do I have a type? No, I don't. I mean, I've dated dark skinned women. I've dated light skinned women. Majority black women. I'm just always attracting more black women than anything else. For real. I've only ever had. No, I haven't really been in a relationship with the Spanish woman. I mean, I've messed around, right? We all have had our moments. We mess around. We chilling. We out there. But my relationships. Oh no, that's a lie. Damn. The lady I was with prior to my wife, she's Puerto Rican, but she you wouldn't tell she was Puerto Rican. You would thought she was a black girl. Like she's one of, like, you know how Puerto Ricans, we come in all kinds. Some of us look white, some of us look black. She looked black. She looked like a black girl. Like, she's dark skin, features, everything. Looks like a black girl, but she's Puerto Rican. My baby mom's black. My wife's Jamaican. She's black. So most women that I've dated, that I've been in relationships with, were black women. Truth is blocked on my page. Oh, really? That same dude, you got him blocked over there? It's crazy. You know what, Stacey? I don't know if you know, but people that you block, if you're on another live, you can still see them on that live, and y'all can still communicate. But if you go to their page or vice versa, it'll show as blocked. But you'll be able to see them on a mutual's page, mutual live. Yeah, so I mean, I really don't. I mean, as far my daughter thinks I has a type. It's funny because yeah, my daughter's like, nah, dad, you got a type, bro. Nah, you got a type. You got a type. And maybe I do. Maybe I have a preference. I would say like there's a certain type of woman that I prefer. I guess you could say. Uh, and it's not that I settle, but most of us, 9 times out of 10, Mari said you do. How do you know, Mari? 9 times out of 10, the person that we prefer, our type, is normally never who we end up with. Let's keep it 100. The person that's our type is always somebody that we never end up with. 9 times out of 10. My wife though, she's yeah, like she was definitely, I could say, my type, right? Obviously, but it's not that, because sometimes we find other people attractive. Like they're not necessarily the type. Like some people say, oh, I like light skin. I like a light skin, tall, slim, long hair type of woman, whatever. But then we end up with somebody that's a little bit thicker, darker skin, short hair, because she's attractive. That's not the type or the preference, but they're attractive, that they caught our attention, and we ended up with someone that's not specifically the type that we typically would you know, typically that we would say that's, oh, that's our type, whatever. Right. I have a type, but I'm not strict with it, right? So that type of situation. Yeah, so I don't know. But since I don't know, my daughters and them think I do. They like, nah, dad, you have a type. I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I do. I probably do, because anyone that I've kind of like been interested in, or anyone that I have found attractive, or anyone that I've, you know, anybody recently, I would say recently, because I haven't dated anyone, but anybody that I may have recently found attractive, or if I reached out and maybe sent a message and I said, hey, you know, whatever, they happen to kind of be in like my type, right? So I ended up with somebody a bit shorter. Sandra, so you got somebody. Well, that's good though, Sandra, because that's one of the biggest problems nowadays is that women, y'all always want somebody that's tall. I want a tall, handsome, this, that, and the third. And then all the short kings is out here like, but bro, you know, I might not be 6'3", but I'm taller than you. You 5'5", talking about you want 6'3". And then you ignore all the good men between 5'5" and 6'3", right? It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's good, Sandra. You say he a little bit shorter than you. Big as up. That's what's up. How tall am I? I'm only 5'8". I ain't too tall. 5'8". But if I put on some good sneakers, I'm a good look 5'10". I might reach about a good 5'10" with some good sneakers on. So, you know what I mean? You got your heels on, I got my sneakers on. Right? Or you got your makeup on. I mean, you got your extensions in. I got my sneakers on. Right? That brown skin blessed. Yeah, so I really don't have a type, man. Yeah, I don't really have a type. My kid's mother is a big woman. You would see my wife and my kid's mother, two completely different. You know, my kid's mom, she wasn't always that big. She wasn't always a big woman, but she's a bigger woman. My wife was real slim, thin, tall. She was about my height, so my wife was like exactly my height, maybe a little bit taller, especially with heels on. Heels, she up here with it. So she tried to stay away from heels as much as possible if she could. But I didn't care. Like I don't care. So like I don't know what it then it's like I don't know. So that's but yeah, she was athletic thin. She was like a thin athletic slim. She was a model too. So my wife used to model a lot. Nah, I don't care if she wear heels. That don't bother me. You know what I mean? That never bothered me. She wore heels a lot. Like my wife used to like to wear these certain type of boots. She had a certain style. So she would wear like a trench coat and she had on these certain type of boots with the heel on the end, like the wedge kind, like not a wedge. That's not I don't want to say. But it was the thick heel. Certain type. She had like a certain type. And like normally she would be a little bit taller, with them shoes on. If we both had on sneakers, then we're just about the same height. Sometimes I might appear to be a little taller depending on the type of shoes I'm wearing. Like she might have on flats. I might have on some sneakers, like thick sneakers. Because there are some sneakers that you're a little bit taller. Obviously, you guys know you're a little taller in these shoes than you are in these shoes. Nah, didn't care about the heels. Um, so yeah. But she didn't care neither. I mean, she would play me every now and then, right? She'll try to clown me on my height every once in a while, like, oh, you short or something, right? Always try to clown me, but yeah, it is what it is. We just joke around a lot. But she always called me a ninja. She like, yeah, you a whole ninja, because the way that my type of workouts, the stuff that I do. And I used to when my wife first met me, I was when I first met my wife, I was involved in MMA. So I used to fight, and I was involved in MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So like I used to practice a lot, right? Or I'll go to training or whatever the case was, and I did that for a while. So to my wife, I was a ninja. She was like, "Oh, you a whole ninja?" Like I'm not a ninja. And ironically, it's crazy because for Halloween, now I haven't celebrated Halloween, but when I was a kid growing up, every year I was a ninja. Every single year for Halloween, I wanted to be a ninja. That was my thing. Batman was my favorite superhero growing up. Batman's a ninja, technically. I grew up during the time with the Ninja Turtles and the Three Ninjas and all that stuff in the 90s. You guys know. So for me, it was always wanting to be a ninja. I loved everything about it. Everything. I just wanted to be a ninja. A sophisticated ninja, right? And my little ninja stars and nunchucks is my favorite weapon. Like, that's my favorite. It's something about nunchucks that's like so damn cool. It's something about them things that's like, bro, Bruce Lee made it awesome. And what's crazy is I grew up reading Bruce Lee books. So I learned how to fight on my own by reading some of this material on how to clench your fist, when to clench your fist. And I would practice in my basement and I would put all this stuff up, and I was making what do they call it? Pulleys in the basement. I was making pulleys, and I had a punching bag on a dog chain, and I hung the dog chain up on this nail, and I used to just practice on that for a little bit, and so I like kind of did that a little bit, But I was such a good kid. Like at that time when I growing up, I was one of like my boys are the same way, because like when you're in your innocent stage, you think everyone's your friend. So you're not a violent, aggressive type of child. So then when it finally approaches you, you kind of don't really know how to react to it much, because you're thinking like, damn, why he punching on me? We was just friends, right? So stuff like that. So there was times where like I never got picked on, but there were times where like situations would happen and I didn't react. Right? I didn't react with the same response, because I'm not in that area, right? Like I'm not being raised on that type time. And then of course I had a couple. It wasn't really until I got into my teenage years that I really got into some fights. And mainly when I got arrested, I was arrested when I was a little kid, got into fights, whatever. And then, but still, it was always something about fighting. Like I always loved boxing. Like I grew up, my grandfather grew up watching boxing, so I love me some boxing. That was awesome. And it was always something about that. MMA was our, UFC, all that stuff. You look like you was a bad kid. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. You had to ask my family. They'll tell you like, yo, I guess you could say that. I wasn't. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But not really though. It wasn't like bad, like mischievous bad, like because you got just kids that's bad. I was really more so because like even though I had siblings, I was raised by my grandparents, and all my siblings lived with my parents. So like my pop, my pop and my mom divorced when I was little, and my mom moved away, and then my mom had my sister, and then she ended up having another sibling. Then my pop had two other siblings. So they all lived in their own homes, and then they had the siblings. But I was at grandma's house. I was raised by my grandma now. Anyway, so I was by myself pretty much, and I grew up with my cousins, because all the cousins end up at grandma's house, right? All the titis and the theos, everybody's working, so they all drop everybody off at grandma's house. I don't know how it is nowadays, but this was back in my day, right? This is back in the 90s, right? So all the cousins is there, so I grew up with my cousins, and man, we did all kinds of crazy stuff, man. I mean, I guess you could say we was a little bad. We did our we did our thing. But it wasn't so bad. I wasn't really bad. To everybody else, I was bad. To the family, to everyone else. If we all was chilling together, they'll say, "Oh yeah," they call me Billy, so I'm Billy to everybody else. I'm William to everyone else, but I'm Billy to the family. All my day ones, they call me Billy. Big mom, my cousins, my family, I'm Billy. I'm not William to anybody in my family. I'm Billy. So, why is Billy a nickname for William? I don't know. It's like Richard, and I think what is it, Dick and Richard and Bobby and Robert, and so Billy. I don't know. So yeah, Billy the Kid. I was always Billy the Kid. Billy bad, and I really wasn't, but I was, I guess, to everyone else, because I wasn't. I don't know. I don't. But I was bad, and I was the oldest out of this class of, because we had older cousins, but I was the oldest of this class of the cousins. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I guess, I don't know. I mean, I was just a kid. I was a kid. I'm gonna call you Willie Billy. Yeah, that's cool. Willie Billy. My pop, that's senior. I'm junior. But yeah, that was pretty much that. Bad kid. I mean, maybe I was. Some ways, but it was more so when I got into my teenage years that I really started getting into like the streets. But it wasn't really like, that's all accidental. I ain't gonna get too deep into that, but that all happened accidental, because like there was stuff going on that I didn't want to be at home, so I just ended up out there in the streets. Need coffee or not? I mean, I've been up since early, so I got up earlier today. I went to the gym. My goal today, I didn't get to run today, man. That's the only thing I didn't like. It's because I had to take my daughter to work, so she kind of interrupted my workout. But I could have got up earlier, but I didn't. But I was live last night, so because the live ended late, I ended up going to sleep later. So I didn't get up how I normally would. I got up a little bit later, went to the gym, did my little workout. I have a goal this month. So for the month of August, I'm trying to run at least Yes, I saw you. You saw me. You saw me where, Judith? At the gym? Where you see me at, Judith? She saw you on live. Yeah. About to say, you saw me at the gym. You should have said something. Hey, what up? What up, Willie? I be watching you. So I have a goal, right? So let me show y'all something real quick. So I rarely ever stay still, which is a rare thing. So for the month of July, so for July, I don't know if y'all can see that. July, I ran 367,000 steps. Now that's just only with my phone or my watch recorded, right? Obviously, there's a little more, give or take, or more so give, but 367 steps, 1,000 steps. Now I don't know if that's a lot to some people. I think for me that's a lot. I look at it like, yo, that's a lot. Now that's for the month of July. The previous month was only 285,000. So this month, for the month of August, I plan on reaching close to at least 500,000. So for me to get to 500,000 for this month, I gotta at least average a good 15,000 plus steps, which isn't really a lot. Cause I mean, I normally walk, I'm normally anywhere between like 11 and 15,000 now. So my goal for this month is to try to reach at least 450. That's my goal, 450,000 for this month, and then elevate it. So I want to see if I could reach my goal this week or this month. Then I'm gonna see for the next month, I'm gonna try to reach a million steps. A million steps will be about 30,000 steps a day, which is probably like 5, depending on how I do the steps. If I normally run like a couple miles in the morning, 3 miles. So I would have to do like 5,000, at least 5 plus miles. So I would have to add a couple miles. But I do want to reach 1,000. I want to try to reach 1,000. Oh, I'm sorry, I keep saying 1,000. Trying to reach a million for what's that? September, August, September, so yeah. So for the month of September, I'm gonna try to get to 1 million steps. They said I'm crazy. He crazy, chat. Maybe. If I do at least if I do 20,000 a day, you say there's 30. Let's say there's 30 days. If I do 20,000 steps a day, that's 600,000 steps. So I would need like 35,000 a day. 30, because if I did 30, that would be 900,000. So I would have to do like 35,000 steps a day, which is probably like 8 miles. Depending on how I do the miles. If I run them, depending, a day. Which isn't bad, because I know people that run this regularly. There's people that do 10 miles a day, 15 miles. So they're already running. They're making that much. I know you probably in my age range. You don't have a knee pain every day. Nah, Michelle. That's my thing. I'm almost 41. I'll be 41 in November. And I've been training my body to such a degree that's what I'm trying to avoid, is the pains. So like, I don't let myself, like, I don't even be trying to remember how old I am. Like I'm trying to get to the point where like I'm not getting older, I'm getting younger. Like I'm getting younger. You know what I mean? I do, y'all, my workouts are crazy. You know what I mean? Like I jump, like the plate that I jump is about right here. Right? So at the gym, I put the plate up and it's about right here. And I do vertical jumps. And I jump off, jump on, jump off. And and little by little, I try to raise it up. Right now, it's like at a 6. I've done 7 before. I haven't done 7 recently. Back in the day, I used to do 7. Before everything happened, I was jumping to 7, which is high. If y'all see 7 is really, it's like, 7's like up to here. So imagine the plate is here. I'm just standing in front of it. I'm not run jumping. I'm just standing there, and I just jump like in one shot and I land. Boom, jump off, jump on. So those are my box jumps, and then I work with kettlebells. I do all these kettlebell workouts. Obviously the overall leg, bottom, squats, all that stuff, all the regular stuff. You know, so and I've been trying to incorporate some newer stuff too. So like I run the soccer field twice a week. So every couple of days I go to the soccer field and I run up and down. I kick a ball around, put on my cleats. I go right to the field. Football, right? International football. So I'll hit the soccer field and I'm running up and down the field and I'm just playing soccer by myself. I don't play soccer, but I run. I do it because I make running more fun. It makes running more fun. I do that. So I do all these different things, and and listen, it's a way better lifestyle. It's a way better lifestyle than just sitting around not doing nothing. Right? I mean, you feel better. It's so much. It feels so much better when you're more active. It's less depressing. You're less depressed. You're less stressed. It's just so much better when you're eating healthy and when you're taking care of yourself. And you can do things like I can get off the couch. I can get out of bed without feeling all pain, like all that. I'm not allowing the so-called age to slow us down. Nah, I'm about to start doing backflips and everything. Like, watch. I'm not playing. I'm about to pushing myself. And I used to flip. I used to do all kinds of flips and backflips and all that stuff. So I'm about to get back to it. I'll be watching videos and I'm like, really? I got to step my game up. I'll be seeing some of this stuff. Because you know how the algorithm is. You look at something and then now the algorithm starts showing you more and more. So I've seen all these different workouts and all these different routines. And I'm like, I need to do that. 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 So I'm like, yeah, I'm about to do that. Sometimes people be looking at me in the gym like, I be inspired. I know the way I be working out, I be inspired. The regular workouts is different. So when you're just doing like the bench or when you're doing the machine stuff, nobody's really paying you no mind. But when you off to the side and you're doing your own little thing, all right, Stacy, I catch you. Appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, I'm about to get off here too. I was just kicking it, which I really was just testing. Everything's good though. We've been testing, so everything's good. But yeah, when I do my core day, it's my core day. Core is when I'm just working on my core. And that's the day where I do my HIIT training, the high intensity interval training. So I do my HIIT training. I work on my core, but that's also kettlebell day. So my kettlebell, my core, all that. When I'm doing those days, people be looking at me like, because that's when I'll be using, I have a push-up board. So I use the push-up board. That's the day I wear my vest. So I have a 50-pound vest. I think it's 50 pounds. I know it's not 25 because when I think it's like 40, 50. So I put on the vest, strap it up, put my vest on, and then I do my workout. I put the kettlebell. I do my kettlebell workouts, my core workouts. I'm jumping. I'm doing all that stuff. You know, with an extra 50 pounds. So I'm just trying to, strengthen, just condition myself. And they got to, man. I got 6 kids. I had to live this lifestyle because this is my mindset from before. I was running a business. I got all these kids. I'm trying to provide a certain life for my lady, for my kids. I can't afford to not be healthy or active. And I got to be this leader. And for me to be right, I got to get right. I got to make sure I look right, feel right. So I had to be on top of myself. I had to work out. I had to get up at 3 a.m, right? So when my wife, like I said, when she passed, all that went away. But recently I got back on it. So recently I've been working on a new business. Recently I've been getting back to the gym. I've been, I lost like 25 pounds these past couple months. And not just any type of weight, but fat, right? I lost 20 pounds of fat. And I'm still trying to get back to how I used to, right? Trying to get my physique back, my health back, jumping. Cause I'm sitting there and I'm doing certain things and I'm like, man, I can't jump as high as I used to. Nah, we not doing that. We not doing that. So I gotta be right. So I'm gonna be 50. I'm gonna be 60, looking good, feeling good, still moving how I do. Sometimes I look around, I be seeing older men at the gym. You can tell this man, you can tell he's 65. You know he's 72. He look good. He working out right. There's this old Chinese dude that be coming to the gym. I don't know if he's Chinese. I think he's Chinese. He's Asian. There's this old Asian guy. And he looks like he's in his 60s. Like he looks to be 65, maybe older. And you know Asians take care of themselves, right? He's an older man, but he's nice. Like he's thick, right? He has a nice physique. And he's active, like he's just be moving in the gym. And I look at that like, bro, when I'm like his age, I'm going to be the same way. My daughter's friends be like, that's your dad? Yo, they be wilding, bro. Her co-workers and them, they be wilding. But, you know, I got to keep myself up. So when I hit 45, when I'm 50, 52, swore you was mid-20s. And then I'm 40. I'm about to be 41. And mind you, like I'm still not even to my full physique. Like I'm not all the way there yet. Like when I get there, I look way younger. Like when I'm more lean. Like if you look at some of my other pictures, I look way younger. Like when I get more lean, because I'm still working, right? I'm still working on myself. I'm still getting to. So as I get more lean, I look a whole lot younger. Which is cool for me. Like, I take that. I say the one thing that I love, that I'm very grateful for, even above the being healthy, I don't get sick, right? All that stuff. The one thing that I am truly grateful for, no offense to the men here, but it's the fact that I still have hair. Do you understand me? Like, I still have hair. Thank you, God. Thank you, Grandpa. Thank you. You see my grandpops, you'd be like, whoa. Let me see if I can pull them up real quick. It's like, yo, thank you. No offense. But I'm grateful I got hair, man. I should have I just posted my pops. So these is my grandpops, right? This him when he was younger. Right, he's a little older here. Right, that's on my father's side. And then this is my grandpop on my looking like Bruno Mars. This is my grandpop on my mother's side. Right, that's him older. But you see, they got a head full of hair, man. Both sides, head full of hair. And y'all know how people say it skips a generation and all that stuff, right? So listen, if it skipped my pop and it came to me, then listen, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I think I'm gonna be a decent old head with some good hair. That's what's up. My grandpa's got good hair. That's what's up. I'll take that. But I'm gonna take care of myself as well. So my boys, I mean, they got good hair too. Like they all three of the boys run around with little afros right now. My son he picks out his little afro. My kids are half black, right? So he has like that that wavy texture hair. They have their mother's hair, so their hair is like soft, kind of thin a little bit, but they have their little curly afros. My daughters, they all have long hair. When they could have long hair, but they cut it a lot. Their mom does hair, so their mom's always trimming their hair. But yeah, they have long hair. But yeah, man, I don't know. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. We had some good conversation. General busting it up conversation. Nothing about prophecy, nothing about scripture. We was just here. I appreciate you, Michelle. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get it back. Trying to get my little, I'm trying to get my little, I'm trying to get it back, man. That's all. That is all. But that's the way that, guys, you go through what you go through. The only way to bounce back is you gotta take care of yourself. Ain't nobody gonna come save you, man. Nobody's gonna come through and pick you up off your feet. You gotta do it. You gotta wake up one day and just like, you know what? Let me get right. And the thing is, we think like, man, for what? What am I gonna eat? Like I've been at it since March. So March is when I started hitting the gym, switching up my eating habits. Not so much the eating habits, because I wasn't really calculating what I was eating. I was eyeballing and assuming that I'm not overeating. So I'm like, all right, I don't really eat during the day, so I eat dinner, eat a big dinner. So I'm like, that's that. But I wasn't seeing much, even though the scale was changing, I wasn't seeing much difference in the mirror. Like the scale is showing that I'm a couple pounds less, but I'm not seeing a difference. And that was bothering me. So I said, man, I got to switch this up. So I started meal prepping. I decided, you know what? I'm going to meal prep every 4 days. And so every 4 days, today's my last meal prep. So tomorrow I got to meal prep. So every 4 days I cook, right? And I got these containers and I put everything in the containers. I put in the fridge and I only eat that. But this is the thing. What I meal prepped, I calculated my ingredients, my food. I calculated everything. Okay. And I use ChatGPT to help me out with this. So this way I can eat the foods that I want to eat with the ingredients that I want to incorporate without overeating, without adding too many calories. Because technically there's no exercise you guys can do to burn fat. There's no exercise that you can do to lose weight. Exercising doesn't lose weight. Only a calorie deficit is how you lose fat. Exercising is an added on bonus so that you can get toned. You can condition yourself. You can lose weight quicker because you're burning more of the fat off. But if you do all this workout, you go to the gym for however many hours and then you go home and just start eating, that meant nothing because you're overeating. You're ingesting more calories than you're burning. Take a cup, for example. If you pour a cup of water, okay, and you pour more water into it, it's going to overflow. You're putting more into the cup than the cup is able to manage, right? So you're eating more. So the only way to really truly lose fat, body fat, we're talking about the jiggles, the fat, right? When you're trying to get rid of in your neck, all that stuff, your belly, which is the torso is the last to go. Like people say, oh, you could do a bunch of sit-ups and you'll lose fat. No, you don't. You can't. It is scientifically impossible to target body fat in a specific area of your body. It doesn't work like that. You have to get into a calorie deficit. So for me, I cook certain foods with a certain amount of calories. So like I have a certain amount of chicken that I eat every day, a certain amount of potatoes, or like my first week was chicken and potatoes. My second week was chicken and mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese, right? So I bought was it chickpea? I bought chickpea pasta, which was high in protein. And then I made my own cheese from scratch with yogurt and soy milk and, etc. All that, whatever. And then that was my mac and cheese with the chicken. It was like a garlic Parmesan chicken with mac and cheese. The third week was teriyaki chicken with white rice. The fourth week was pepper chicken. So I made a pepper steak. I'm sorry, not pepper chicken. I made pepper steak, like Asian pepper steak. So it was pepper steak with what did I eat on the side? Noodles, udon noodles. So I made pepper steak with udon noodles. Very high in protein. Now this one had a little bit more sodium, obviously, because of like the ingredients, but it was less in calories. So the ingredients, calories, it was calorie regulated, the amount. So I eat about 100. It depends. So I'm like at 130 grams of protein every day, about 150 grams of carbs every day. Fats regulate between what I'm using to cook, and there it is. So now I'm ingesting all the protein and all the carbs that my body needs to maintain my muscle, but it's just enough to lose body fat. It's under my maintenance calories. So if I want to maintain my current weight, let's say, for example, I'm gonna just throw out random numbers. Let's say I need to ingest 2,000 calories every day to maintain my weight. I'm eating at 400 less than maintenance calories. So instead of eating 2,000 to maintain, I'm eating at 1,600, right? So I'm eating 400 calories less, which means I'm ingesting less food. By ingesting less food, my body needs to make up for that. So my body eats the fat that my body's already carrying because it needs that extra calories. So it eats the fat, and that's how the fat burns off. That's how we lose weight, because your body needs energy and it uses the stored fat as the energy. And that's when you begin to slim down. Your face slims down, your arms slim down, you start getting more tight in the chest, your arms, right? And then the legs, and usually the midsection is the last to go. And so it wasn't until I meal prepped where I seen all the change. I promise, guys, listen, all jokes aside, if you've ever listened to me, if you ever enjoyed me talking, whatever, and listen, I highly recommend food prepping. I promise. You cannot go wrong with food prepping. And use ChatGPT. Say, listen, I weigh this much. I'm about this much active or whatever. I want to lose this amount of pounds. I want to get to this weight. How can I get from 160 to 140? And can you prepare a meal for me for the next week? I want to meal prep, but I want to maintain. I want to be, let's say, 300. So I want to be 300 calories less than maintenance. ChatGPT will create the whole thing. Bam. It'll give you a meal plan. It'll tell you which ingredients to buy, what to cook. So you say, listen, I want to eat baked chicken and rice this week. Make me baked chicken and rice, and let's say your maintenance calories is 2,200 calories, and you will say, but I want to stay within 1,800 calories. So now you're losing 300 calories every day. You're going to lose weight over a course of 3 months. Over 3 months, you'll lose, you'll lose a pound a week. So for like, if you do it right, you'll lose about 1 to 2 pounds a week of body fat. So that's about 4, 8, 12. So you'll lose about 12 pounds between now and then of pure body fat. And that might not sound like a difference, because you might be like, damn, I'm 180. I want to get down to 140. Losing 12 pounds of fat is a huge difference in the body. People don't think this. That's a lot. Imagine taking a scale and weighing just liquid fat. Burning that much off, that's a lot. That does a lot for the body. So it wasn't until I started meal prepping that I started to see the change in my physique. It was the meal prepping. Eating less. Because we think that we could just cook and eyeball it. But then we don't take into account the amount of oil that we use, ketchup and stuff, sauces and seasonings, right? We don't take none of that stuff into account. And then we think like, oh, I'm going to put this much on my plate. I'm going to eat this many wings, this many. And we don't take none of that into account. Like if you're frying chicken versus baking chicken, you're gonna eat more calories frying the chicken because the grease, right, in the chicken. So I rarely even use oil like when I'm cooking nowadays. Like, I mean, I use it, but not as much as I used to. So I'm laid back with a lot of the stuff that I cook. And mind you, my meal prep's bang. That pepper steak that I made, bro, that pepper steak and noodles that I had last week. And my meal, they're so big, like that meal prep so big that I can split it and eat one half for lunch and I can eat one half for dinner. And I leave myself 400 calories. So right now I'm eating at 1800 every day. My meal plan is within 1400. I leave myself 400 calories to play with. Meaning, and I want everybody here to pay attention. This is the best part. You ready? This is the best part. Because I leave myself 400 extra calories after my meal, I can do whatever I want with those 400. I can have me some donuts. I can have me some snacks, some ice cream, some chocolate, and I would still lose weight because it's still under the amount of calories that causes me to gain weight. You understand? People think, oh, I'm gonna stay away from snacks, or I'm gonna stay away from this, that, and the third because I don't want to gain weight. It has nothing to do with that. You can eat fruit all day. You can eat salads all day. If you overeat salads, you're gonna gain weight. You can eat chocolate and snacks all day and still lose weight, because if you eat less than what your body requires, you can lose weight. So I leave myself a few extra calories, but I don't even eat snacks. The difference, now this is where the difference plays in. Yeah, you'll lose weight because you gave yourself room for extra calories. You can do whatever you want with those calories. A calorie is a calorie, no matter how you spend it. The difference is that if you eat certain foods, like if you eat certain snacks, corner store snacks or whatever, it can cause certain health problems. So like you might eat something that causes inflammation in the body, or something that gives you a sugar crash or changes your chemistry, your brain chemistry or whatever. So that's the difference, is that, yeah, I got these extra calories. I'm not going to gain weight if I eat a bunch of donuts because it's within my calories, but them donuts are unhealthy for you. So technically for me, I use my 400 calories for fruit. So like I'm eating a bunch of oranges, cherries, a banana, an apple. So those extra 400 calories that I have, I use them to really eat fruit, where I get all my fiber at. I like fruit, so. But every once in a while, I have my days, like my daughter works at a donut shop, right? So they had a new donut that came out. I took her to work today. I got the donut. That's my snack for the day. And guess what? It ain't gonna hurt me. I could eat 2-3 donuts today, and I would still not gain any weight. I would still be good. But the thing is, over time, that's not healthy. You can't just keep eating these donuts and think that it ain't gonna affect your arteries or your heart, or it ain't gonna affect you in some way. So that's the difference. So I've learned how to play with food where I can maintain a decent weight, get healthy, get toned, become athletic, and still eat the foods I want. I don't have to be eating grass all day. Listen, guys, I eat chicken and mac and cheese, pepper steak and noodles, rice and chicken, but I cook it in a healthier fashion, and I make sure that I'm tracking the portions that I'm eating. Get tall. That's the only thing I can't do. I can't get tall. I can do everything else. Can't get tall. And then you got people out here that's doing like they get surgery to get taller, which is weird because yeah, I can get longer legs, but that ain't gonna change my body structure because my torso, you know what I mean? Like your body equivalent, your arms is still short. How you got long legs with short arms? You're like a whole T-Rex. Well, is bone broth good for diet? I don't know. It's all about calories, Michelle. All about calories. This is what you do. Find out how much you weigh. Weigh yourself. No clothes. Keep your underwear. Weigh yourself. Okay, write that down. And then find out what your maintenance calories is compared to your weight. So for me, in order to maintain, I'm 161. Today I was 161 when I woke up. So my body fluctuates between 1 to 2 pounds every day. So one day I wake up 164, the next day I'm 162, the next day I'm 163, the next day I'm 160. So it fluctuates. And that's really glycogen. That's like extra food waste that I'm carrying, water that I'm carrying. It's not body fat. So I didn't just gain pounds. It's more so water, right? Maybe I ate something with a bunch of sodium the night before. Now my body's holding a bunch of water. So I woke up an extra pound, but it's just water weight. I'm 275, but I don't like it. Okay, so this is what you do. You're 275. Find out. I'll tell you right now. Give me a second. I got you. I used to have a whole group, a health group, that I used to like help and train people nutrition wise and stuff. It's been a while since I've been in the group and been active, but give me 1 second. I got you. Give me 1 second. I mean, that all counts. Michelle, how tall are you? Donnie, you look more like a Muslim, bro. Just saying, yeah, maybe. The little beard, right? 5'5". All right. How active are you? Like, as far as like, do you work out a lot? Do you not? Do you walk a lot? Or do you move a lot at your job? So like, sedentary, light active, moderately active, very active. Nah, it's just calculations that I put together. Okay, so I estimate that your calories, all right. So for you to maintain your current weight, for you to stay at the weight that you're at right now, you would have to eat 2,500 calories every day. All right, 2,500. Now I want everybody to pay attention, right? This is where it gets tricky. Let's say it's Friday night, you order a pepperoni pizza, whatever, right? You order a cheese pizza. Now for me, I could eat a box of pizza. I could eat the whole thing, right? Most of us can eat a bunch of slices. Most of us can eat 4 or 5 slices. We can eat at least 3. But this is the thing: when you buy a pizza, you eat like 3 slices. Each slice is probably 400 or 500 calories per slice, right? So eating 3 slices, you just ate 1,500 calories. That's just 3 slices. And that was just for dinner. That was just later in the day. Plus the wings. You ate about 8 wings with them 3 slices. Each wing was about 110 calories. So plus 800 calories. So now you're at 2,200 calories and it's only dinner time, right? We only ate 3 slices of pizza and 8 chicken wings. That doesn't account for what you had for lunch. For lunch, you had a number 5. That number 5, just the number 5 was 900 calories. So now you have about 3,000 calories. Your maintenance calories is 25, meaning to maintain your weight, you need to ingest 2,500 calories. You're already at 3,000 for the day, so you just ate an extra 500 calories. Plus the little bit of snacks you had. You had a bag of chips and maybe a little tasty cake, whatever. And then maybe you had a soda or something throughout the day. So now you're at about 3,500 calories, right? So now you're at 3,500 calories, 1,000 more calories than your body is required to maintain your current weight. So now you just added more weight to your body. That's the difference between eating unhealthy and eating healthy. A salad, a whole salad, which could have maybe 500 calories in total, depending on your ingredients. Like you put olives, you put broccoli, maybe some chicken, some cheese, maybe an egg, comes out to about 500 calories. That little bowl of salad will have you full versus a whole box of pizza. And you only ate 500 calories. A box of pizza was 1,800 calories. So the amount of calories that you're supposed to eat so that you can lose weight, you just had it all in one box of pizza. But you're still hungry the rest of the day. So that's the problem. So that's the problem with us, is that we don't track what we're eating. We just eat, and we're overeating. It's not what you eat. What you eat does play a part, but you can actually maintain what you eat. You can have fun eating and still lose weight. If I show y'all my food, look at this. Y'all would be like, that's crazy. I posted this on Facebook a little bit ago. So this was my pepper steak. Right, that's my pepper steak. I made it with noodles. Now, mind you, that's a half a plate. This is a half a plate. So the meal itself, the actual meal, is enough to feed my body the amount of protein I need to keep my muscle, and the amount of carbs to give myself the energy I need. That's the whole entire tray. Well, I split, because the tray had a lot of food, so I split it into two, lunch and dinner. This was the one half. So I'm eating this much food and I'm still losing weight, right? Let me show you another plate. Like, I'm eating a lot. Look at this. This was my teriyaki and chicken with rice. That's one plate. That's not a half. After this was the first day, so I put it all on one plate, and I looked at the plate. I said, "Yeah, that's a lot. I'm gonna have to split this. That's a lot for one sitting." But imagine, I'm eating this much food. Look at that. I'm eating this much food, and I'm still losing weight. And I still can have me a nice snack, and I can have a couple pieces of fruit. So I can eat an orange and a banana and some chocolate, or a donut, and I'm still losing weight. Because I'm doing it correctly. I'm maintaining how much I'm eating. I'm calculating the amount of food that I'm ingesting. But I also incorporate exercise. So by exercising, I'm also burning more energy. So you do the both. You can't exercise and think you're going to lose weight. No, it's all about your food. You have to maintain your diet. Incorporate exercise with that diet, and then you lose weight quicker. You become more healthier. Okay. So for you, Michelle, I think that's Michelle. That's what Michelle. For you, Michelle, if you, let's say you want to lose about 2 pounds a week, like let's say you want to go aggressive with it, right? You want to straight get aggressive. You want to cut aggressively, but you don't want to you want to still be within a healthy range, right? Where you're not, because some people, believe it or not, guys, you got some people that are like not eat. No, I'm not going to eat. I'll probably just have like a little piece of bread and that's it. And so, in some ways, you actually gain more weight doing that. Believe it or not. You think by not eating, you're going to gain weight. No. Or you're going to lose weight. It doesn't work like that. You still have to eat. But you have to eat correctly. You have to trick the body. Okay? A lot of people try to stay away from carbs. No, carbs is what feeds the muscle. Protein, people say it's the protein, but it's really the carbs, because your muscle is made up of water. The muscle is majority water. So the carbs push the water into the muscle. which you gain more muscle. It's about the healthy carbs. Bad carbs is noodles and pizzas and donuts. Those are carbs. It's bad carbs. Good carbs, things like broccoli, rice, potatoes, right? Those are good carbs. Sweet potatoes, even fruit carry a lot of carbs, right? So the thing is, what you want to do for you, Michelle, if you want to, let's say you want to lose 2 pounds of body fat. There's a difference between losing 2 pounds as in weight or body fat. Because we don't want to lose weight, guys. We want to lose the fat. We want to lose fat. You don't want to lose muscle. You want to lose fat. In order for you, Michelle, and this is just a rough calculation, we would have to like come up with a plan, but on a rough calculation, to lose 2 pounds a week, that's about 8 pounds per month. So you could do it. You could lose 8 pounds per month. In 3 months, you would have lost 8, 16, 24 pounds of body fat. That is a major difference compared to what, now, if you said you're 275, so that would bring you down to, let's say, roughly 250. It's a major difference when you see that you've lost 25 pounds of fat. So it might not sound like much, damn, from 275 to 250. That's a major, in 3 months, that's major. You keep it up in 6 months, incorporate exercise, you can get down to 200 real quick. Most things that we think ahead of time, we like, man, that's 6 months, I'm trying to lose this now. No, it takes time. It does, it takes time. But the consistency, if you stay consistent, if you're serious, you stay consistent. Listen, I'll work with you. You want to lose 2 pounds a week, you would have to eat 1,500 pounds a day, or 1,500 calories a day. So for you to maintain your current weight, you got to eat 2,500. If you want to lose at least 2 pounds a week, you want to lose at least 2 pounds, you would have to come down to 1,500. If you food prep, I promise, Michelle, if you food prep, it will be the biggest, this is the biggest blessing that I could ever bless you with, is this little bit of information. Food prep. Food prep. Bake you some chicken, cut you up some potatoes, roast your potatoes, put them to the side, let it cool down, and then put them in containers. And eat that throughout the week. Eat that for the next 4 days. 4 days later, you do another batch. Cook something else, some rice and maybe some whatever. And then put that to the side. Your next week could be cheeseburgers. Make a bunch of burgers for the week. And then each day microwave it, pull out some good wheat bread, like a healthier bread. Stay away from white bread. And put some cheese on it, boom, and you will lose weight eating. I ate cheeseburgers all week and I lost weight. And every other day I had me a nice little snack. You food prep. If you literally food prep, you manage the amount of food you're eating. Forget eyeballing it. Don't think, oh, I'm gonna cook and then I'm gonna just make my plate, and then in your brain you're like, I probably ate less than what. No, I was doing that. It didn't work. It didn't work. It wasn't until I food prepped that I just seen it all just start disappearing. And it's because my food has enough protein to keep my muscle, enough carbs to feed the muscle and to give me energy. But it's still less calories than my body needs to lose the weight, to lose fat. So it's all about body. It's called body recomposition. So I'm burning fat while building / maintaining muscle. Right? That's what we want to do. And if y'all serious, man, listen, y'all serious, man, maybe I should get back on my group. I used to have a whole fitness group. Food prepping, guys. I promise you, food prepping is the way to go. Now, some people was like, I don't know, man, I don't want to eat the same thing for well, then you're not serious. You don't want to look healthy. You don't want to get right. See, my thing is I don't have a problem eating the same thing because I make the food fun. Like right now, I have chicken and potatoes. I have sauteed chicken and roasted potatoes. But I have it's not about what I cooked. It's the sauce that I use. I have a specific Asian sauce. Awesome. And when I pour that over my food, it changes everything. So I just bang that. And then I switch up in between time. I might have me like I have these little chips. I have these veggie chips that I eat as a snack. Today I bought a donut from my daughter's job, so I got this guava donut that I'm gonna be eating here in a little bit after my second plate. That's my snack for the day. I could bang me a couple of oranges. For me, a good snack is like 2 oranges with some water, and I'm full. That's a good snack. Now, before, there's times I'm fighting. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'll be fighting. I'll be like, man, I'm about to, like last Friday. Give me 1 second. Yeah. 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 All right. So, last week, I think it was Friday, I told myself, you know what? Because I allow myself 1 cheat day a week. Now, what's a cheat day? A cheat day for me is I don't hold back. I don't have any rules that day. I can do whatever I want. That's my cheat day. Because a cheat day, you don't gain weight, bro. Like if you go all out on a Friday, you're not gonna gain weight. You're not gonna get fat overnight. It's only when you're doing it every day. You get, you know. So for me, I have a cheat day. So a cheat day might be something like, you know what, I'm gonna order a pizza, or I might order like some Cheesecake Factory or something. I might order something offline. Maybe I give me a cheesesteak. That's a cheat day. Or you know, maybe I might have like a little bit of ice cream, or I buy a couple of donuts. That's a cheat day. So last week, Friday was my cheat day, and I was at the grocery store and I bought ice cream sandwiches. That's one of my favorite. Y'all know what an ice cream sandwich is. But this brand was called Fat Boy. I never seen these before. It was called Fat Boy. So these ice cream sandwiches, they weren't the long, skinny ones. They were these real thick, square ones, kind of like Klondike bars. But they were ice cream sandwiches. It was like this thick. It was about this thick. It was literally this thick, but it was more square. Right? So it was like 2 of these. So imagine 2 of these. And it was just a huge thick. And then I took my daughter from work. When I picked up my daughter from work, I noticed that on the window, they were advertising these new donuts. So I came into the job. I said, y'all got some new donuts, huh? She's like, yeah. I said, let me get that one and that one. So I bought these 2 donuts. Now, earlier, I went to the store and bought them Fat Boy ice cream. So later that night, I'm sitting at home. I'm chilling. I threw on a nice little movie, banged me an ice cream sandwich. Then another ice cream sandwich. Then another ice cream. And then them 2 donuts. So I ate them 2 donuts and 3 ice cream sandwiches. Afterwards, I'm like, bro, what did I just do, man? I just ate like 1,000. I just ate like 1,500 calories of just snacks. And I already ate dinner and all that other stuff. So I'm like, bro, I'm drawling. The next day, I still woke up a pound less. I'm like, how is that possible? You know what I'm saying? And that was my cheat day. And it ain't going to do nothing. A cheat day is, if you maintain it right, you look forward to those days and you can just have fun. You like to go out and have like appetizers and drinks and all that, or eat some snacks. You can have fun. You can, as long as you do it right. I love it this way. It's way better. Way better. You know, so definitely, see, now I'm talking about it. I'm like, man, I kind of want me some Fat Boys again. I ain't gonna lie. I would bang me some ice. So I have my days where I do like kind of like, you don't need it, walk away, you don't need it, nope, walk off, grab the orange, don't grab, okay, grab the orange, there we go, there you go, walk away, right? I have my days, I do, but afterwards, when you actually discipline yourself, you feel a whole lot better. You're like, man. And then you feel it in your body, you see it in your body, you look in the mirror, you're like, man, I look a whole lot better. I feel better. You know? You feel more accomplished. All right, listen, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. We've been on here for 3 hours. My kids got the house is a mess right now. All the pillows is off the couch. And, Sandra said, I'm eating orange now. So yeah, man, you guys definitely want to maintain Like I said, Chat GPT, man, that's I've been using it. I've been using it. So if y'all see a little bit of a difference in me right now, like if y'all see like, oh, he looked like he lost weight, he looked a little more. That's because everything I'm telling y'all. There's nothing that I've been telling y'all that I didn't do. I lost 25 pounds of fat. I was 188. I started off at 188, which for me is overweight. And I got down to I'm 161. And I lost all body fat. I still kept all my muscle. I lost body fat. So I get to maintain all my muscle and lose fat. So, and I did that by meal prepping, exercising, meal prepping. I got to get right, guys. Get right, Phil. Get right, people. I'm telling you, we're not getting younger. We're getting older. Get right. And as a byproduct, you'll look better. Right? Make the health the priority. Make wanting to feel better the priority. Right? You want to do it. You want to be able to lift a certain type of weight. I want to eat less. Make those things the priority. And as a byproduct, you'll look better. Then you look in the mirror like, dang, all right, I see it. All right, cool. Because I wasn't seeing it. I kept looking. I'm like, man, I'm not seeing this change. I'm not seeing it. And then one day I woke up and I'm like, all right, I see it. Okay, I can see it now. I see the transition now. I see where I just was, and I see the difference now. So there is that morning, because listen, you're gonna think like nothing's happening. We go to the gym and then all of a sudden we think we're supposed to. The next day we like, hold on. So you go for a week, you ain't gonna see nothing change. You go for 2 weeks, you're not gonna see much change. You go for 20 days, you're not gonna see much change. You go for 30 days, you'll start to kind of maybe see something. Go for 100 days, and then you'll see. I gotta go get my daughter. All right, listen, y'all. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm on my way. I gotta pick her up from work. I forgot she got off at 4. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I will check you guys out later. Thank y'all for hanging out. Audio testing, live testing, but then we all just started kicking it. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I will check you guys out next time. God bless. Let me do the little here. I'm gonna do the outro. Is that the outro? Can y'all hear it?